at us and our
Hey, so,
faces.
like I was saying, I mean, the only time we ever get to really do this is when someone has a birthday, which happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Stick
birthday.
your nose in
shampoo.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to
to
you.
many more.
And many more.
Guess
Thank
whose
you for
birthday
that
is
birthday,
Yes, it's
Serge.
Rachel's.
today?
It's Rachel's
Thursday.
birthday.
That's correct. We're not sure. Somebody in the world is having a birthday.
Someone's birthday
Yeah.
somewhere.
Someone's.
We don't know anyone who's having a birthday today.
I actually did not know it was Mary's birthday because she must have set her Facebook to not tell anyone it's her birthday.
Nope,
Yes,
it's definitely on our
because-
Facebook.
Oh, no, it's on her
Well,
Facebook.
oh,
Alan,
I thought I had
you
set it
mentioned
up,
that.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the
Oh.
same. I just don't. I don't like bringing mine up.
Didn't
So
mention
it's
on
like
our
if you
Facebook
see it
at
on
all.
Facebook, you see it on Facebook. If you don't, I don't care.
I had
Because
a
I've no
hate-
business being angry at people forgetting because I forget everyone's birthday all of the
Same.
time. So
same. I rely
Same.
on Facebook for it, and I remember you mentioning everyone who's cool's birthday is in September. So I'm like, well, hers is coming up, so I better have a quick peek.
Well, the Queen died on my birthday, so you know there's that.
I mean, there's been other tragedies
Rachel,
in your.
what
No,
you
wait, no, that's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
of course, the Queen died. You killed the Queen. I also wasn't going to
Yeah.
mention this because I don't want to divide the person in chat.
divide the person in chat. Oh no.
Well, we have at
Please
least
don't
one
divide
viewer.
me.
This can
That's
I got
happen.
very
already
mixed feelings about the whole thing.
Yeah, this can happen, can't it?
Yeah, it was weird. I'm not going to go into that. We can talk about that on the chat stream, but also I don't really want to talk about that. I'll tell you one thing. My Facebook is divided.
I was on Twitter, and people can be so cruel.
I will admit to
Is
having
that just in
made some
general or
jokes
just about what's
about
happening with the Queen, Rach?
Pardon?
Is that just in general or just what's happening with the Queen?
Well,
Just
in
people-
general, yes, but just
Yeah.
happening with the Queen, yes.
I was going to say, it's just people
I
in
mean,
general.
like an
on
old
Twitter.
lady's just died, guys. Get
Yeah,
it
well,
together. Be nice.
The trouble for me was I started
Well,
at the end of like someone's family members died, okay. And then gradually, as every piece of bullshit came in, I was like, more and more, fucking no.
Politics.
No, fuck you. Fuck you.
I
Well, I
will
found-
not
Yeah,
talk
like,
about
she's not-
politics
she's
in
not
this
even had a
stream. That's
funeral
for
yet either.
50s.
She's not even
Anyway.
had a funeral.
But we're not going into it because we'll
Yeah,
be
yeah,
here for the next
'cause,
40
yeah.
minutes, right? And we'll be like, we'll all make similar points of
Here's a sheep.
There's a sheep. There's an interesting sheep.
A,
Look at the
a
pretty sheep.
peaceful sheep.
What the
Everyone
sheep
pet
is.
the sheep. Good.
That
Calm
reminds
down.
me of all the
There we go.
sheeple.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Listen,
So,
sheeple.
yeah,
Here's a mushroom.
Pardon me.
was a
Wait,
large
are we
part
streaming?
there.
Because I just
Yes.
burped really loud.
Yes, Laura Bailey. We are aware of what you've done. She done that in a stream I was watching recently, and another
Wait,
show that
did I
doesn't
seriously
exist.
just... Oh my god, I did.
What did
Yep.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Yep. There we go. Hello, beautiful Sally. Hello, beautiful Jim. Hello, beautiful Zach. 7
Wait a minute.
viewers. We are 5 of them.
How is half our players on the chat but not in the game?
Well,
Excuse me.
Who's in the chat?
Can we-
That's not.
Can we just edit that bit out wherever? Please.
No, we can't edit
No.
these things. We will clip it. Oh, we can clip her burping, Minnie.
yeah.
Her burping.
Please
that-
don't,
that
because
can be
I...
done. I didn't even
Please,
notice
please
it, but
don't.
it can be done.
I did notice it 'cause
Oh,
I looked around to see what large animal had burped very loudly and then realised it was tiny Rachel that done it.
I just remembered I'm not
Well,
working
sometimes-
tomorrow. It means I can get beer.
Oh.
Scott's gonna
Watch it.
get off
Watch
now.
I've talked about my
Wait,
burp
he's
so
off,
much
he's
and you
off.
won't be able to hear it at all.
Anyway, okay, right. Anyway, welcome to Sanity Check Gaming and Monday's episode of Mutant Year Zero.
Holy fuck, we're live.
We are live,
Right.
so
Oh,
stop giving nonsense. So, yes, as always, I am joined by my core players, and you will notice with one exception, young Logan cannot be with us tonight. He is not going to be here. He may or may not be here in future. We will decide. We've not fell out with him. He's still a very good friend. but he's busy. He's a busy boy. These things happen.
Logan's the best.
I'm going to go as far as the best. He's all right.
What?
Okay, Richard's no.
I'm not the
Anyway, I will introduce.
I'm the best.
best. Right.
I mean,
I'm not.
to be fair, as we become more and more famous,
Okay,
obviously,
Mary.
because
Mary's
we're
the
on a
best.
straight
because
rocket
it's
to
her
the top,
birthday.
we will find out who's the best.
Piper,
No, Mary's
you
the best
can't.
because it's her birthday.
Wait, do we have to fight?
Piper, you cannot say that your game's better without having played in both games.
Yes. Oh, that means me and Scott are the only two that can.
Well,
think
what
of-
I can say
I
in
love
terms
both
of
my
views,
D-
Richard
But my
is,
my
Hang on,
They
which
are-
way around are we?
is winning because he gets the most
but
views
I
every
love
week.
all my DMs,
Wait.
GMs, and storytellers equally.
Look, we all bring
Richard
different
is
things to
the
the table.
best DM. You're the best GM, and Gordon is the best storyteller.
Ah,
That's fantastic, Scott.
Yes.
that worked for me. Oh, Alex, what are you waving at me? Oh,
And I am perfectly
I love
average
you.
at
All you guys
everything
for
else.
different reasons.
Alex came and gave me a UK. Other chocolate bars are available, and Jake means other mental-based sweeties are available.
You've got a good kid.
Yeah, I'm also. He's very aware that I am on a little bit of a diet right now because I've got a Comic Con to go to.
Wait, do you have a good kid?
Ah, He's
And
doing
I
it
put
on
on the
purpose.
Spider-Man costume, and I felt a little bit tubby. So
Well,
he's like
I
I
tasting
have
out
seen
back.
your workouts, Sam, so you'll maybe not be tubby by the time you get your.
No, listen, Lee, we both know, right, being guys who work out, that's not how working out works. You're not doing that
These
in
get
2
bigger.
weeks.
That gets
Yeah,
bigger.
you're not doing
This
that in
stays
2 weeks.
exactly the same.
Yes,
We
that's
need
not
to
happening in 2 weeks. We know
If
this.
he, I was going to say if he dropped his water weight,
We
it
need
may
to
only
I
be
am
water
not
weight.
going to sugarcoat this, Lee.
Right, guys, mutant, 10 past 8.
We
Right,
need to stream.
we need to stream. Game. That is for the chat sessions. Right, so anyway, Mutant. Welcome to Mutant. We have our 4 players with us today. First of all, introducing herself as Mary. Mary, what would you like to say about your character?
My character has teeth.
All
Right.
over her body.
No,
Terrifying.
she does though have, which I don't know if it has been mentioned before, but I did write it down. Little tiny like scales that come off like moth dust all over the place.
That's creepy but cool.
Pretty sure this is fucking new.
I wrote it down, so it's not new.
Wow.
It's maybe not new to Mary, new to everyone else.
It's been
including you.
official,
Yeah.
but just
Yeah. I mean, look, these things you don't mention about your characters. They're onions. You're peeling back layer after layer after layer. Our character is Grey. Grey is a gearhead. Grey recently came into ownership of something that Grey is very impressed with.
Yes.
She now has a tractor.
oh yeah.
It makes a loud, thunderous
Grey.
noise, which we'll come back to in a moment. Rashad, your character is called Ulf. What would you like to say about Ulf?
He is Ulf, and he is, as usual, the glue that holds this group together because he is just simply a grunt, nothing more, nothing less. And he will
this
be
moment.
talking in a deeper voice than usual because I lost my voice I'm starting to lose my voice just for all the straining I'm doing with all my talking and all my wrestling and all my talking.
Yeah, you'll have lost your voice during the wrestling.
Mhm.
Well, that is a
Yeah.
time thing. We'll talk about that in our chat sessions, not tonight. You can hear
Yeah.
all about it. I went to it as well. Rachel, what would you like to say about your character who's called Flair and is a stalker?
Yes, she is called Flair. Well, you basically just said it for me.
Name two interesting things about Flair.
She has white
Easy,
eyes,
isn't it?
which happened in game because she did something, but it turned out to be a kind of cool little mutation thing. And she also has red boots, which we found in game as well, and they are cool. They do look exactly the same as a branded pair of certain shoes. I'm
Some
not
kind
going to
of
say the name.
Professor Morton or something.
Yeah, something like that.
One thing I'll say is if you wish to see what Flair looks like, if you go to Sanity Check Gaming Instagram, the picture was posted by me today. But it was made by the wonderful, I keep going to point to Mary who's
Murray.
near to me, but Mary is down
Where is she
there
on here?
on the stream. Mary
That way.
Fluffgar, she made a picture of Flair, and I actually forgot she had white eyes, and I wondered when I looked at the picture why she had white eyes,
Damn
but
it,
that was
it's
a thing
this
that
way.
happened.
Also on Facebook,
We
as
will
far as I
have it
see.
up on streams once everybody's character's complete. We'll have each is like next to her
You will do the thing.
videos.
Scott has got a character called Bogart, he dears lovely. Nope. Try again. He loves dearly. Scott, is there anything you'd like to say about your character who's currently? Well, I'm not going to say. What would you like to say about your character? Chronicles
Well,
suck.
yeah. I was reading the
Right.
rules behind Chroniclers, and they seem a bit broken in the bad way. But I played it for RP purposes, and he's had tons of mutations because I've been spamming my powers. And he's got thousands of eyes, all human eyes. There, like little tiny eyes.
I thought there were
One's
flies.
covered
eyes.
in teeth. One's
Some
covered
of
in
them are
eyes. It's
pussy.
horrifying.
Some of them are.
Oh,
Luckily, he wears goggles, so he only mildly disgusts everyone else. And he does have some nice perfume to make him smell nice. So
He does indeed.
Yes.
Which
everyone.
is a real shame that he's currently lying unconscious because it would make his manipulate rolls ridiculously high.
It's infamously easy to talk yourself out of a gunfight.
Well, if you read the mechanics of Mutant, they actually encourage you to try to talk. The actual
Talk before.
no, that's literally the rules say if you're getting an upper hand, then you can be like, everybody drop it, and then it's just a matter of some rules.
Unfortunately, I'm unconscious and in there.
Yeah. Someone's got to grab the perfume, fling it all over themselves. Sorry, I do apologise.
I would be very good at stopping the fight, but no, in fact, I wouldn't, because as soon as I use my power, everybody would know and want to shoot me.
So anyway, yes, so that may or may not happen. I'm not going to be that brutal because I do enjoy playing the game with you. Okay, now, has Alex brought me more treasure? No, okay, it just keeps coming in and... Oh, you get your
pardon me.
tablet? So anyway, so last week, who would like to recap what happened last week, if anyone remembers?
lots and lots of things. Murray
Uh,
found a tractor.
Find a boomstick.
You did find the boomstick.
Yes.
We met a guy
yeah.
who filtered water.
You did. You met Stu, who has varieties of flavours of water, and you told him the location of the ark,
Including
and he
stew
in turn...
water.
He did.
Yep.
I was rewatching the stream, and that's about that popped up, and she was like, that is a very funny thing I said. Oh, thank you, Alex. Yeah, so you met Stu, who I think I might bring back because he was quite fun. He's probably going to turn up again. He also mentioned a old man who lived in the zone with a couple of little ones.
I
but
think we came across.
Well, I don't know. Perhaps you have, perhaps you haven't.
Hmm.
They've not been. I've not written them yet, mate. I have a very clear picture of what's going to happen with them. Because that's actually one of the first side missions that I thought of when I was thinking of the campaign. But I won't go into it. I'm very excited.
I'm assuming we've already met them because I was assuming that they're dead and we were in the barn of their house there.
The bodies that you found, the body that you found was long desiccated.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, to be fair, you did find the diary, which went more into detail, but you very respectfully put it back, which I appreciated, even though I'd wrote like a load of stuff in there. But whatever, it's fine. Part of this.
We do like to ruin your fun.
I spent 4 hours writing pages of diary entries, and you're like, "Oh, that's sad. See ya."
Getting into the hairs.
How cool's that? I'm like, "Oh, that's
Getting into the headspace of the character. Feeling depressed afterwards for 5 hours.
To be fair, emotional damage is like, yes, emotional damage for them. So yes, you found that. You met Stu, you explored the ruins of the country supplies warehouse. You found a cell, which you did not take apart and take with you, but it's still sitting where you left it. You found alcohol to power it, and you now currently have a vehicle capable of towing the tractor trailer. You still have your 4 companions with you, some grunts and 2 stalkers. However, 3 of you went ahead to scout the area, and you came across an abandoned garage. Everything's abandoned, the wasteland, but however, this had some people trying to get into it. People that you didn't recognise, but you had heard lots about. Bikers. You don't know their true name yet, but yeah, we would describe them as bikers. They have vehicles. They seem pretty nasty. They had some volunteers with them who were trying to break in. And they had a familiar figure lying unconscious in a cage beside them. You then decided to sneak upon them. and do some crazy bullshit. But currently, I believe Ulf has one on a chokehold. Rashal, you were taking pot shots, or were you up and at them?
No, she was taking pot shots with.
I think I
Uh,
was taking Pocho. I was close, but not like in melee with them.
And Logan, his character is called Dodger, is currently taking it, like trying to snipe them off, and did make a hit. You have one pretty much at your mercy. However, that leaves 3 right with you, and 2 long distance away who may or may not have noticed what's happening. I would assume they have heard of the gunshots though. So as the scene reopens, how would you like to proceed? I'm going to tell you right now, you're all going to have to roll me a d6, including Logan, who's going to have to roll me a d6, which makes things awkward, to see where you are in the initiative. So, could you roll me some initiative, please? Scott, you could also roll me some initiative, even though you can't do anything.
It's always fun rolling initiative to be told you're still unconscious, and then
I got a
passing on to the
1.
next person.
Oh, wait, where's initiative again?
Oh, nice someone. Yeah, don't worry. The Miri, you are currently quite happily chugging along in the chat. I
Oh,
assume
yeah.
wearing a straw hat, chewing a bit of
Wait.
straw, which you found.
Oh, initiative. Here we go.
Grab some
Oh,
grass
still
and put
got
it on the
1.
head.
We don't have a map for this, do we?
Yeah, we have one that I have, and then you have the one that Rachel made.
There is no map for the
Combat.
for this combat. I'm
Right,
not going to
that's
do
what I
maps
was
for
asking.
combat.
Yeah.
This is all theatre of the mind. This is a heavy RP game, and I am a very busy boy. I don't have time to make maps, so I like to write things. I don't like to make things. I leave that for the creatives in the group, which
That makes sense.
are there and there to me, and they are. But you know.
Oh God.
So anyway, the initiative you have rolled. Let's have a look. We got a 4. Okay, so you should have been and they rolled a 6, a 3, a 5, and a 3. So they're all going to act before you.
Makes sense.
So, you currently have one by the neck. You don't know his name, but I have their names. Where are they?
Frederick.
Yeah. No.
Drederick Tatum.
Now, as you recall, one had shouted that they knew the location of your arc and you better disengage and get away from them. And as he's struggling with you, Ulf, one of the bikers that is facing the slaves turns round, observes the situation, walks over to Bogart, who lies unconscious, pulls out his gun, his scrap pistol, points it at Bogart, says, "You better stop what you're doing, or I'm going to end his life. Put your weapons down and move back."
Oh, well, that doesn't give us much of a choice then, does it? As I start tightening on the grip on the throat, because if as soon as we drop our weapons, you're going to shoot us, right? And you've just threatened my arc.
That's right. We know where your arc is. And if we don't come back, the boss is going to be pretty pissed off. Now, I give you my solemn guarantee that we don't want you. Let's talk about this. Let's be friends. Come now. You're outnumbered. There's 6 of us.
Oh, you mean like you made friends with those people in the barn back? Just next to the water plant?
The barn? Oh. Perhaps we would ever explain ourselves a bit more here. They didn't pay tribute like we asked for, so they suffered the consequences. Now, if you don't pay tribute, you'll suffer the consequences. Now, your
What
arc.
do you mean by tribute?
Oh, let me explain. Look at everything you have. We want half.
I have nothing.
You got a
Yeah.
weapon. You got bullets.
Well, you can't
got
have
grub.
half.
Half of nothing is still nothing. Yeah, half of nothing is still nothing.
I see weapons. I see grub. I see water. Now, and is it really worth your friend's life? We've got plenty more where he came from. Does this man mean nothing to you?
You underestimate us anyway. You underestimate our arc.
If you knew who you were dealing with, you would know that it's not worth this. This fight, you can't win this fight. We can rain
Says
fire
you.
down on your ark.
I'd rather die on my feet than on the ground begging.
I just pretend to sneeze and then just breathe a bit of fire. If we're talking about the raining fire, I'm pretty okay with that.
You won't be okay with it when it's blowing up your nursery.
What did you just say?
You heard. You think we've not scouted out your ark? You think we don't know about the Dawn Vault? You think we don't know about the Fix Pit? We know about them all. You must have friends in there, loved ones, perhaps even people you care about.
Are you threatening our families?
Oh, I'm sorry, is it not clear? Yes. I'm threatening to rain down vengeance upon you.
This
Now, why
is
don't
giving
you?
me more wanting to kill you now sort of vibes. Yes?
We already know where you stay. You don't know where we
Oh,
stay.
and exactly, so maybe I should just kill you now and get on with it.
He looks at you, he looks at Ulf, and he looks at his companion. Fire the warning.
Lee is how far? Can I hear the tractor coming?
This is all taking place within a minute or two. I'd say the tractor's probably at least 10 minutes out at this point. You set up and you gave time. You can maybe hear it in the distance. You can give me any kind of perception based roll, but
I am just looking to see how long it's going to take till we actually get more backup.
Red, where are you?
We'll go with
I'm
Scout.
sorry, Scott. I can only give them so many chances, man. They're really going for this.
I will go for Scout. Let's try this. One success.
One success. You hear the kind of the loud rumbling of it, but it's a good few minutes away. But yeah, it's getting closer. I mean, maybe if you keep them talking.
Pretty much what I want to be doing here.
Right. What's it going to take for this to end peacefully? I don't need more dead bodies. I need
No.
I need stuff.
I would like my friend back and also your moving wheels. Your things that with wheels that move. I would like those.
Right. I don't think you understand how this is going to work. See the man that you have you're choking right now, and he pulls his weapon out and shoots him in the back of the head.
Oh shit!
For the guy I just have in the.
The guy that you're holding.
Mhm.
Now, do you want to continue
Well, at
talking, or do
least
you want to
that's
keep playing?
one less person to kill.
I will keep him up. I'll keep the body up despite the shot.
No, wait, he's a heavy boy,
It's
so if you
dead
do not
weight
give me a
now.
straight strength.
Yep, that's fine.
Also,
Wait, what about endure? Could I do endure?
I'll take it as an endure roll. But it's going to be an endure roll. You're going to be an endure roll when you get to your round as well. Because
That's fine.
we're going to have to move on to the next kind of section now.
I get
And
that.
it's the other dude.
2 successes.
you,
Can I keep one of the successes
you've
to
got
count for the next endure?
you absolutely can, mate, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got him and you're holding him, but it's heavy, and this is going to be a real problem if you're going to try and do anything else.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I would like to not show the fact that it's a strain. If anything, I need to show that we're fucking strong here. So it's a
Your
case
muscles tense and they clench. He's maybe not looking for that, but yeah, I mean, you're holding him, but
yeah.
you know, dead bodies
I'm gonna
weigh something.
I want to point to the guy in front of me. Is this one as important as he is?
Let me explain this to you. None of us are important. The boss is
Oh.
important, and the boss has told us what she wants. If I came back there and I didn't have what she wanted, then my fate would be the same as my friend there.
And what is your boss's name exactly?
Let's not talk about that right now.
Well, let's talk
Let's
about
talk about
joining
how
our
this
side if
situation.
that's the case.
No, we've seen your arc. Your arc is starving. Your arc is vulnerable. You're about a week away, a month away from eating each other. We've got plenty. We're safe, we're strong, and we're strong because we get rid of the weak. Maybe you should talk about joining our side.
Well, Well, it's either
Well-
that or I'd rather have the week to live than, live second by second, obviously getting shot for no reason. Like
And
your
it
friend here.
depends how
You
you
should have been
class
paying
weak.
attention. Weak, those that can't fight, those that can't provide.
Well, we have very clever people who are not strong.
Then maybe they could find some uses. Maybe they could keep the bikes running. But we don't need a lot of smart people to eat all the food. We need a few smart people to keep the bikes
So
running.
you're just all dumb? Supposed to live when you're not clever. You can't discover new things.
We've been smart enough to have an affluent society where we're all fed, whereas you're starving. So who's the smart one there?
Neither of us, by the looks of it.
We're doing well. If he'd been doing his job right and been looking for people, he wouldn't be dead.
And for the seams of it, if you weren't doing your job right, you'd be dead, right?
That's right. Now, why don't we have a conversation? I'll tell you what.
Isn't that what we're
puts his
doing
gun-
now?
Yeah.
He puts his gun. Well, he means more like let's have a civilized conversation. And he puts his gun back. Now, what you do notice, actually, both of you give me a scout roll.
Do, 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 do. Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, I'm going to push that.
Which, remember, minus off any ones you've got and roll the appropriate amount of dice.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I got a success. Richard, on the other hand.
Nah.
Good. What is the scout roll? What's that? Does that tie into agility? Is it
Wits.
wits? You're starting to think, wait a minute, this guy is awfully confident for someone that you've kind of got the drop on.
Is that
And when
doubt?
you put it down as doubt, yeah, it's fine. Well, actually,
Shake it off.
That'd be empathy. Yeah, go for it. You can shake it off. So it's 2 points in that. For shake it off, you've got 7.
I have 7 at shake it off.
Shake it off, and you failed them all.
Wait, didn't you have that success that you could bring over? You
That
say
one
you
is
had
that's
that?
not going to count for his endure. I'm not going to have them like
Yeah,
that to be for
I-
the same to same.
yeah.
You can't just keep them
Okay,
using them all the
that-
time.
No, I
Or else you'd
specifically
makes
save up
said I
them.
was keeping it for endure to hold him up.
Um,
all right.
You are starting to worry about why he seems so confident. Nyla, not Nyla. No, Flair.
Wrong
Why does it say
game.
Nyla there? It says Nyla. I don't know why that says that. Anyway, Rochelle, Flair. You look to the side. The bikes are gone. The two that were up the road, sitting on the bikes.
Ha.
Now you can. He looks heavy. You should drop him.
Seems all right to me.
Up to you. Right, let me introduce myself.
I'm just gonna take my. I'm really quickly gonna take my gun out, shoot him in the head.
It's not your shot yet, Rachel. Right.
This is true.
Because you rolled real low. The other two guys have got their shots, so if you're going to do that, they're going to shoot you.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm waiting for
Well,
this
I'm
track
trying to
to
catch
fill
them
up.
off guard, shoot them. So like,
Not how combat works. We're doing the conversation, but if you want to try, then they're going to pull your gun. You are there. So give us a second. Right. I'm Arat. What's your names?
Joseph.
Joseph.
my name is Bogart.
Funny, that was his name as well.
Exactly, as some of us have the same name.
Are you brother and sister?
And not that I am aware of.
These don't look alike. There's not much of a family resemblance.
No, there is not between us. No,
Right.
maybe beforehand.
Oh, before the mutations. Right. Well, I'm a representative of the Hell Riders.
The Hell Riders.
And we've came to this zone from afar, and we've decided to make it our home. because there's plenty of right pickings here, plenty of goals, surprising amount of arcs, and you just haven't been doing too well for yourselves. Plenty of places like this.
Surprising amount of arcs, he says.
Surprising amount of arcs.
Right. Keep an eye on that.
Mm. No.
Okay. How about you just leave?
Oh, I'm planning on leaving.
That
we're
would
gonna be coming
sort
back.
everything out. You just leave right now.
Okay, Bogart. Now we will leave, but we need to get what we want from in there. We need some parts. So be on your merry way, but be aware that we're coming to the Ark, and we expect tribute.
So why exactly would I not kill you now? I'm not sure.
If you want to kill me, you can kill me. But if we don't go back, and as you may have noticed, my friends have went to say that it's you that have done this, then tribute will come at a cost. We expect half of what you got, and we expect, and he's going to point to the volunteers. We expect half of what you got and some volunteers. Now they either come from your arc or you find people for us, but they'll need to replace me. So if you do this, we'll take double. We expect 10 volunteers, and if you lay a hand on us, we'll expect double. And we will care where they come from. They'll be from your arc. No one you care about there. Are you so secure that you think you can't be hurt? Because you can be.
If you're threatening my family, we have serious problem.
I'm telling you what will happen. Now this comes from on high. Imagine this, I am a mouthpiece and I've been spoken through. I almost went to the jester voice there. You've been spoken through? It's so hard when I hear you say it. I'm jester. No, I'll tell you what. Here, show a good thief. And he pulls out a little tub from his pocket, pops a lid, roll him on his back, and his companion goes over and rolls Bog on his back, and he pushes something in his mouth and empties some water in, rubs your throat a bit. Bogart, you've just been given a painkiller. You wake back up. You're no longer broken. Bogart, your friend Bogart's here. We're trying to talk us into releasing you.
I'll kind of look over and be like, I thought you were already captured.
We are fine.
The rumbler
Are you okay, Bogart?
Good.
This man is very nasty.
Nasty. I've been nothing but reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonable.
Will you put a gun to my friend's head? So
Well, actually, he
That's
ran by
not
and we captured
reasonable.
him, and then you choked my friend, and then I ended the fight without hurting a single one of his.
You
you
shot your
killed
friend.
your own.
I
You
said
shot
without killing
your
one of
own.
yous. I didn't say kill one of the was. I'll be
Killing
honest.
your own is
He was a
nearly
bit
as
of a
bad.
dick anyway.
Did he not have a family?
He has what he can take, and now all that he had is mine.
Got
No.
anything in these back pockets?
Are you going to try and rifle this guy's back pockets as you're holding him up?
Yes.
Have they took my
Interesting.
stuff?
Bogart, you appear to have your stuff. Actually, no, I'm going to say that your weapons have been removed.
I don't have weapons.
In that case, no,
Haha.
anything you had in your pockets is still there. They're not rifled, they just kind of chucked you in the back. If you were trying to rifle the guy's pockets, I'll say that he had. Hold on, let me just get. I made up a character sheet, so I know exactly what he has. I'm going to say you killed the one. I had the most boring name. You killed Gary.
Poor Gary. I didn't
Good.
kill him.
I knew
I
one
just re-
once.
it's
He
nip
was
that in
an
the bud.
arsehole.
We should edit that for future purposes. I didn't kill Gary.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Iraq killed Gary.
Yes.
Hanging from his belt is a scrap knife and a scrap pistol.
Is that all? I'm looking for maps or anything.
Are you gonna try? You're gonna have to give me like a sneak roll or something if you're gonna try and like actually rifle his pockets while you're having a conversation with someone looking at you. And I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be like a -2.
He's not looking at me though. He's having a conversation with Bogart.
I will allow it as a -1. You're right there, and you're holding up a heavy ass body.
Which I've passed on the
You have
endurance
passed,
check.
mate, but that doesn't make it
Yeah,
easier to like
okay.
go
Yeah, okay,
into
okay.
his pockets, rifling
Excuse
around.
me, 1 second.
He does also have like
Is it
3.
minus one? Is it minus
One
one
to your
die?
stealth, mate. Yeah, so one. I'll say it's -1 success.
You would need 2 successes to pass.
Yeah.
I've only got 2 dice in this now because of wits anyway.
Well,
2 6s.
it might be
What's-
one of the few times I can do my inspire skill.
Yeah.
The fact I'm
Oh.
helping you.
Yeah.
It's one of the
I'll
few
give you
times
this.
it may actually help.
Bogart goes la da 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 da.
It's more I'm just distracting them.
Go for it. I'm
100%
on board.
This is where I'm going to
Let's finally
fucking
use this
fail.
inspire skill to do something
Go
useful.
for it.
Huzzah!
It's
gonna
like
roll
the
nine-
one and
9
only
ones.
time that it's got to be handy. Did you roll there and pass?
Yeah. I
No,
did
he didn't
get
pass.
a.
You got a minus.
I got- I
because he
have a
was-
success. Yeah.
You have
I
a
do have a
success, but you needed 2 successes because you're getting -1 success.
So what does the inspire do?
Well, it depends how well
It
Scott
means I
rolls.
can
so
give you my
right.
successes, but if I fail, I'll make it worse.
Right.
So it's generally quite useless, but if you
Yeah.
only have 2 skills in something, it can come in handy.
Do it.
Do it now. Do it. Do it now.
Well, now. Oh, there you go.
I will
There's a
say you can
success.
give him that success. So yes, you successfully raid through his pockets. You do not find a map. I will say that you find 2 bullets,
Mm-hmm.
and if you wish, you can take the pistol and the scrap knife.
I'm not taking any of them things. I'll take the bullets though. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's-
I was more interested in finding anything that had like,
Because no one else
something
could do with a
identified.
weapon.
Yeah. Basically just a map because one of these must have a map. That's the way I see it. Because then they would know everything that's around here.
Yep. Guess it wasn't. I guess it wasn't Gary.
It wasn't Gary. That's why I was looking. But I'll take the 2 bullets. Yeah.
I would like to attack the Irishman. Can't remember his name. No
You're a-
offense to any Irish people, by the way.
yeah, you're a-
Irish. That was a Jamaican accent I was doing.
It was clearly Swedish.
I mean, that's the way the hell he's talking.
No offense to anyone from any country.
I was doing a generic voice. I wasn't doing accents. I don't do accents. You want to attack Arat? Are you sure?
Arat, is that I say? Okay.
Arat.
Yes.
A-R-A-T. It's literally Arat, no space.
Arat. Okay. Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
pronounces it Arat. It's pronounced Harate.
Arat.
Because
Yeah,
Irish
I
people
wanna
spell
breathe
funny,
fire
and then
on
like
them.
mean that.
Does he have like a pointy nose and like cute little whiskers?
He does. He has a kind of rat-like appearance.
Oh no, he's too cute.
Before you do
Yeah,
this,
I would
Rachel, and
like
I am
to-
on board for you setting on fire, right?
Yeah.
But I will remind you of one thing, that these are clearly mutants you're dealing with.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? So if you want to set them on fire, I'm going to have to scream in that accent now, which is going to be really that.
I'm here for that.
You've already done it. eh?
I've just assumed he'd Irish stance to try and avoid the flame.
Yeah. Oh.
Try to put the flames out in his trousers.
I'll tell you what, Rach. As you go to do the flame, just to kind of show you how serious I am here, the other one that's in. Sorry a second, I've asked my vision. Yeah, please, a cup of tea would be wonderful. That's fine. Oh, thank you very much. She gave me my dungeon master thing as well.
Oh,
Right.
That's so cute as well.
no.
As you kind of like, you notice the other one's watching you and does that and spits out fire and then winks at you. Are you sure? You've kind of played your hand here. We've all got mutations.
I
Mine are a
didn't think
bit
that you would have
more-
the same one.
Surprising that, isn't it? It's like we're all created in a lab somewhere and there's only so many you could possibly have. Mine's a bit
That's
different.
true.
And he smiles and his mouth opens very wide, displaying very sharp teeth.
That is pretty ugly.
It is pretty terrifying when I bite your fucking head off. Now, why don't you stop being a dick and maybe think about what you're doing?
Where you're saying you're going to attack the
I'm being clear. I'm being
client.
honest about our intentions. This is a cruel world. Now, have you killed anyone? Have you, you've never scavenged, you never taken with somebody else's? Are you nice to every ghoul that you meet? Probably not.
Not the ones that are mean to us.
Actually, we've been very kind to every ghoul we've met.
Oh, really? Which ones
Yes,
have you
we
met?
actually have friendly ghouls.
I'm not going to tell you this.
Probably
And where
lies.
are these schools you've met?
Friendly ghouls, you say? Weak and ripe for the plundering? Wonderful.
I just thought you might want to know that we have allies that we can call on. Where Ark
Allies.
is not alone.
Interesting.
So I think it might be wise if we all just forget that we met any of us.
Oh, you're free to go.
We forget
We'll not
you,
forget a thing.
and you forget us. And we go our merry way. You go do your thing, and we do our thing.
Like, how
Awesome.
far out is Red?
If
I'm gonna
you're
say
right
the
and we
noise
die
is...
in a month, then
Yeah.
what's the harm? If we die in a month, you can just walk in and take everything you want. No one has to die.
Oh, what have you
That is
found?
So,
genuinely fucking clever.
so
I'm like,
why
please,
not?
I'm like, that is clever.
Why not just go away and your scouts that you mentioned can keep an eye on us? But of course, now that we know that they're scouts, I'm sure that there's people in our arc that will not be happy at this. I'm sure they'll be sniffed out.
You see him thinking. See the DM as well.
I know. I'm just thinking this as well. That is a clutch move.
That is. You make a fair point. But what I'll say is that we know your location. You don't know.
Oh, you
ours.
don't know our allied location. And you
That's
don't know if we
true.
have more than I just mentioned.
Roll me a manipulate check.
Kind
Still
of
smells
nervous.
pretty
Come
fresh.
on.
Does he get +2 because of the?
He gets plus 2 because he smells good as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Hey! I
Oh,
love
There was
this.
never a
two
time.
things. Right, so 2 gear dice plus my manipulate. Oh dear God, this has got to be a huge roll.
Making the chronicler useful.
on,
There we
come on,
go.
come
I
on.
told
It
you. I
better
could
not
do
be a
it.
Literally,
shit
we were
roll
just
either.
literally talking about this as well, and all of a sudden.
That's just my manipulate. That's my manipulate. I still have 2 more dice to roll.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
this is true.
Push it.
Oh, for God's sake, mate. All right, okay.
Push it.
We want to push that.
You can push it,
No.
mate.
Aye.
You can push it and
I'm
take
gonna
away one
push
dice,
it.
please.
The sheer odds of that's failing
I know,
again.
Odds
That's
on.
hilarious,
This.
Scott.
It's
You need to.
almost
You're going to
insane.
take a hit to your. What does manipulate?
Thanks,
have?
fuck.
Oh!
Fucking roll.
That's what I'm
That
talking
was-
about.
That was 5 successes.
Oh!
Thank God.
That
right,
was-
now
yes.
remember,
Wow.
I'll take away
I'm-
one of your successes because you did.
Yeah.
Did you roll the same amount of dice? But your 4 successes more than enough. Like you see him like
Get
it's
in
like
there.
you see him stopping.
I actually rolled 5 successes with 1 exploding.
I think that's a bait,
Yeah.
mate. I think that's a
Alright.
fail.
Yeah, that's
right.
a fail on the gear.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about mutant is like the dice roll, like the biohazard and the nuclear symbol, both bad in real life.
Mhm.
So it's like, which one's the good one?
Yeah.
Those are good things. Like
I don't think the explosion's that good either.
the explosions, that's actually bad because that's actually your
Yeah.
weapon would take damage, but don't worry about
Yeah.
that. She's not using a weapon.
Now,
Um,
such a good roll.
Right, you see him think, and he's like,
And let's put it this way. You see my friend over there. He's not showing any tiredness from carrying your very large friend. And there's a lot of them on the ark.
See, from that moment he does that, I will let go and kick the body forward, and I'll just absolutely
He
stonewall it.
goes and it
We
almost
are
hits, and he
actually-
just he
Yeah.
does take a step back and like he like jerks back like he's afraid.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
so you've made
all
your point.
All I'm say, I'm not going to attack your ark. I'm just telling you that if you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. And then no one needs to go and lose too many mutants.
Right, you've made your point. I'll take your proposal to the boss, but he's made of sterner stuff than me. Right, a lot of yous. Let's go.
I
He's
would
gonna
like
light
a
up.
bike, please.
I will touch Flair on the shoulder, just to calm her down. I'm being your friend and I'm helping you not to make a bad decision worse. So,
Oh,
the
okay.
there's 3 of them left, and there's the 4 guys,
helpers, yes.
volunteers. We don't use those words.
Volunteers,
Volunteers. Let's see. You're not getting a bike. If I go back there without a bike, then the next time you see me will be as my smiling head's on a spike as you walk through the front doors. You want one? Do what we done and find one. And then he's
And where
gonna
exactly did you find this?
you search the zone.
Well, that wasn't very helpful.
Would you want a map?
Yes, please. That would be very helpful.
Oh, here's a map. There. That's where you find it. It's there. Right there.
That's
Get
a
the fuck
terrible
off.
map. I
Oh,
have 2.
Ah!
That's a good clip there. Right. Yeah. Good luck to you. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you real soon. And he's going to jump in the pickup. And then the other 2 are going to jump on the bikes. And the volunteers are going to get in the back of the pickup. Are you doing anything else?
We're
No.
just letting them what we're
They
watching.
tear off.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it be.
I love how down for murder Rachel's character is in this.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I'm going to fucking take you off. I don't care.
It was the fact that you
I've
mentioned,
noticed
like,
as soon as I say anything about the family, you're like, I'll fucking have you.
yeah.
I'm here for it.
I'm also here for Scott's character, considering the fact of the conversation
that
we
was
had before we
genius.
came online.
Mate. It's kind of silly, and as I said, that there's a way to talk your way out of most combat, because combat in this is short and it is brutal.
My speaking skills, I'm not that good.
Mine's neither. As much as I talk a good game, I am not that. So
I talk for 5 minutes, now I've got to roll. I have 2 dice and I'm
yes,
fucked.
exactly. I'm as I'll go over to once they're away, I'm gonna go over to Bogart and go, are you fucking serious? Do we actually have allies?
God, we don't. But they don't know that. When you are weak, you have to appear to be strong. When you are strong, you want to appear weak. I read it in a book once.
Used your name. I'm sorry, I pretended to have your name.
It is fine. Many people on the ark admire me.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yay!
Red, we found the people that you are scared of, and they have now driven away.
Bogart, that was genuinely genius.
Well, it's one of the few skills that I bring to the ark. I survived this long without the strength you have for reason.
Well, I know you're not any good at fighting, but this guy here, he's got a pistol and the scrap knife if you're wanting it. I suggest you take it with you just in case.
Yeah, you never know when one of violence may be required sometimes. I cannot out-argue a zone dog.
This is true. You're welcome to it, of course. I mean, you got us out of that situation.
I'll kind of like look over at Fluffgar and Gray and Flair, and I'll be like, "Are you sure you do not need any weapons?"
I am perfectly fine, thank you.
Red,
Maybe we
sorry,
should break into the place that they were going.
I was thinking this myself. They obviously there's something interesting in there, and they obviously know about it.
I'm just looking from one to the other and going, did I miss something?
Wait a minute, something's happened here.
Don't worry, Gray,
right.
we sorted it all out. Bogart was very good with his words.
What's going on here?
Something's
on a
happened.
minute.
I swear my accent's getting worse.
Have you been fighting without me?
It's getting better. It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if we can get in this.
I'll kind of look over at Gray and be like, "Well, they seem to be struggling with some type of lock. I believe that's your forte."
When you investigate what it actually was, is it's a metal shutter that they've been trying to prise off with some tools. They've taken the tools with them. However, Gray came into purchase of a lot of tools recently,
Yeah.
and the other two grunts you brought kind of jump off and like shaking off their shoulders and kind of
Yep.
stretching.
It also had a tractor, so we could just rip the door open.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can
Uh,
open it normally first.
What is this thing? We kind of like point at the tractor.
Oh yeah, this is our vehicle. We found one of these rolling vehicles, and our good friend Gray here got it working.
And you didn't think to tell the rest of us that you got it working.
You weren't
You
there.
ran away.
You ran away. It was when
No,
we tried to catch
I
you.
ran away
I
when
think-
the engine
I
was
think it was the
started.
noise.
I believe
Yes, it
that you were
does.
captured, and I thought if I go ahead, then you will. If you escape, you will catch up with me.
Insight check.
But we were captured, so
As-
you ran away.
You can
This-
absolutely do it, but it was his intention.
Yeah, not
How
all.
do you
This
not
is my automotive
Mhm.
distance detractor.
It is a
love
very impressive device. I believe that the ancients used it to farm. And I'll kind of like look over at Ulf at this point and be like, I know you're interested in those things. I may be able to find a book on it.
Horticulture. I
They
would
crush all the
appreciate that.
plants, though.
I don't know how it works.
I'm not
that's why I
sure
was
how
coming
they
to you.
work.
Where do you put the
I thought they
seeds?
pulled things like
Like most grunts, I like to do things with my hands.
Yeah, but the tractor was an ingenious invention the Entids created that made them be able to plant more seeds in less time,
Giant robot hands.
which
We can
means
put
that we can
those on
produce
it.
we can produce more food, and therefore we will be more well off in the ark, and we will be stronger for when they attack.
Giant robot hands. Okay.
But I do think we may need to contact those ghouls. We may
My
need
next
numbers.
character is going to be the
They-
tractor.
Yeah, I agree.
Strengthen numbers.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not even going to make you roll for this. Between the three grunts, yeah, you just get the door
Yeah.
off. You've got tools. Yeah, you're all big, strong dude. You just tear off the
We're all big, strong
shutter.
dudes. One strength.
the grunts are with Richard and with Ulf. And
I
yeah, between
loosened
the
it for
three,
them. I loosened it for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you went
that's-
over. You pointed out the best bits that would be easiest to rip off. This bit here would come down quite easily. That's rusty. Get your hand in there, and yeah, you just tear it down, and you just go into the building, and yeah, you just find first of all it's an office, and then that leads into a back area, and there's a door leading into a workshop which is in complete darkness.
Sending the light.
Sonar,
You-
activate.
Ah,
Yeah, you take off one mutation point, but yeah, I'll make you roll a d6.
But you're just like, yes, I finally got a use for that sonar.
Roll a d6. I'll just roll
Well,
it.
just one d6. So many. That's such a good roll, Scott.
really good.
Not
roll.
that. Just do this.
Clutch, mate. What,
To
what
be
type
fair,
of-
it went from one of the worst possible rolls that seemed statistically impossible to an amazing
Yeah.
roll.
Absolutely
It was
fine.
like from one scale to that scale.
I think actually, like that many dice, like your chance, there's a percentage thing there, and I'm pretty sure it's like 96% chance of rolling a 6 at that many dice, and
Aye.
you managed to beat the odds. So well done. Right, yeah, you're absolutely fine. It pings, no bother, and for the rest of the time you're in here, you know exactly what's going on in here. There's some raised platforms. There's a lot of metal. There's tools over there. There's nothing there's some switches that you flip, but there seems to be no power going to this building. You do notice that there's some shutters at the front, very similar to the ones that you open at the front door, and there appears to be like a crank that you could perhaps do something with.
Oh,
That's a
so I
gearhead
could,
you would want.
yeah, I can let some light in at least by opening up everything.
Absolutely. The crank's pretty stiff, but with the help of the grunts you got with, you're like, turn that. And then you went, it screams, and then, and it goes, and the doors start to open, and yep, it just lets the light in, and it is very clearly a workshop, reminiscent of the fix pit in the Ark, except built to purpose, not kind of like stuck together randomly. This is like clearly this was made to fix vehicles of some kind. There's various bits and pieces for cars. So yeah. I will also say for funsies,
Yeah.
There
Is
could
there
be an
any
architect in there.
engines?
Go.
If any of you have been to Haiku, you would know that there's no engines
Yeah.
in a Haiku. Haikus are turn exhaust centers, but they also sell things like batteries. So I will say that you do find, in amongst all the batteries that have rotted away or burst over time, one functional battery.
Oh.
I was gonna give you the artifact, but you know what? That would make no sense to find like a really weird artifact in there. So yeah,
Yeah.
you just find another battery, much like the one that you put in the tractor, much like the one that Hannibal wants. But yeah, you find bits and pieces. You could definitely take these back to O'Brien, and he could be probably grateful. There's stuff you could sell. There's very useful scrap in here.
Probably do that, Gray. I mean, if O'Brien knows about these people we've just met, and we're looking to build our own, so we can at least stand up and fight them if we ever need to. It's probably
Yep.
best that you, and especially you with your knowledge, you managed to get this tractor up and walking. So it makes sense. You point
Yeah,
out
I agree.
point out what you need, and we'll put it in. Me and the others will put in the back of the wagon.
Does it have those lifty things, like the wheelie lifty things?
Dry lift.
Jacks? Those
right,
things, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Lee, the DM, was like, "What the hell does that mean?" A jack, yeah. There's various things. Yeah, I mean, you know what the equipment looks like. There's absolutely some jacks there. There's probably like 6 jacks there, at various levels of repair. But yeah, you see ones, they might need a bit of attention to kind of get them up and running. But anything you'd expect to find it in a mechanics is available to you. Some of the welding equipment looks like it's not useful at the moment. Would probably need some kind of fuel source for it. If the jury rig something together using the alcohol-based stuff you find, but you can certainly get it working. Yeah, I think you could expect
I'm just
to reasonably
pointing at a
succeed.
bunch of things and going, these
Yeah.
and that thing over there, and some of these boxes stuff.
I'm just
piling
gonna
stuff
pick a
up on them.
random. I'm gonna pick a random bunch of things because I have no idea what's what, and just take it back for my girl.
Okay. In that case, you find a socket set. You find an exhaust, and you find an alloy. So there you go. You've got 3 things. What I'd say is
What did
one
you
of the
say? A socket set?
socket set, an alloy, and the other thing that I said, which I've immediately. Oh, actually, you find some window
Exhaust.
some window wipers.
Okay.
Good luck. One of the grunts is going to be like, sir, if we load these on, are we going to be able to fit all the security fence stuff in there?
Of course, we'll be fine.
Okay.
We have the tractor as well.
She's already this. It's going to take up quite a lot of space if we put all this stuff in. It's going to take up about half the
And
trailer.
And this.
My girls
and this.
need
She's
these.
picking everything.
I'll kind of like point to the back of the trailer. We have more space. Sorry, the tractor. We have space on this vehicle.
I understand, but the security fence is meant to go around the entire arc. If we take this stuff, then we're going to. I'm happy to do whatever you want us to do, sir. But it's just that we could
Well,
maybe
if we cannot fit it, then we will remove the more useless things.
or we could just leave them here and put the shutters down, and then, or if you want, me and Maddie could drag some of this stuff back to the arc, and you could go on without us.
I'll kind of like look over it, Ulf, and I'll be like, "Do you think you could handle this?" No. Then
yeah, I could do that. Yeah, but I wouldn't. Like I say, you're not wrong on what you're saying, but and besides, we'll probably walk alongside the tractor.
Okay.
I guess they could. I guess I could walk.
Yes, I will walk. I have
With
no
your big,
intention of
powerful
sitting
legs.
inside the tractor.
Sorry, Rach, what did you say?
I have no intention of sitting in the tractor. I will walk as well.
Okay, I mean, whatever you want, it's not up to me. It's just that 2 people
Okay.
weren't really. It's the giant pile of equipment that she wants to take that's taking up the room. The 2 people you can hang off the side. I mean, look, it's your.
Okay,
it's your
why
show.
don't we lock this? We mark it on the
Could I-
map, and we come
At
back.
this point, Gray has a gigantic pile of she's just dragging everything out, and these, and these, and
I'm
these.
just imagining
Okay.
someone's gonna be at the other side of the
Mhm.
trailer, just quietly picking
Okay.
things up.
Well, yeah, the
And
other
Isn't-
grunt
I'll
is
point
already loading his stuff up.
I'll point to one
Is
of
there
the
a bin?
grunts. I'll point to one of the
Oh,
grunts
is there a wheelie bin?
and say, "You go back. You get other stalkers to come and collect this stuff from here. Tell them the location, and I'll try to draw a map. Tell them there's
Yes.
many useful things here but we cannot get it on."
Lynx is going to say if you want. Sorry, which Lynx is
It is links he's
Okay.
got telling
Okay,
them to tell.
if you want, I can easily go back to the Ark and just send a team out here. That's not a problem. I mean, if we're gonna lose,
Yes, we need these
we're filling
things.
up on
Mhm.
filling up on things we don't
We
need.
need as many
We've got a
resources.
mission.
Yes,
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
as many resources as we need right now. Did you not hear what had happened? We are going to be under attack very soon. We need to make sure that we are strong for when that happens. And how do we get strong? And I'll kind of like point over to Gray.
Yeah, that's a good point. Lynx is one of the stalkers, right?
Lynx is a stalker, and so is
Yeah.
Red. So you'd be
Right.
sending Lynx
Yeah.
back basically to the Ark, and then they would just get a team sent
And,
out here.
and Lynx
Don't-
is my ally, so it's like he's a trustworthy
Yeah.
person.
Lynx. If you
I
could
thought
go
we
to-
had Jinx.
Oh, it's Jinx. Sorry,
Jinx.
actually, the name
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing. It's Jinx. You're right.
Jinx.
No, Lynx is the other one.
Aye.
Sure, you hear Rachel?
Make sure you go back to make sure you go back to O'Brien. Don't go back to Hannibal. You tell O'Brien about this.
It's a very good job you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. O'Brien, no problem.
Please.
You just wanna,
Come on,
yeah, I'll just I've
Yeah.
got it on my map, no problem. We can find this places. I've locked it up. Yeah, I'll go. I'll be back here today.
I'll check on Gray at this point. Is that okay with you, Gray?
And this.
Carrie's like, oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah, if we leave this empty, that means we've got a security defense up, and then at least we may need to. I don't know about you guys, but I think we need to hurry this one up.
Yeah, we have been
Yes, I agree
wasting
as
too
well.
much time. I slept too
They
long.
could-
Sigh.
They
down.
could come back with more people as well.
For the looks of it, they could do it quickly as well. I mean, those bikes were pretty fast.
They have
wish
more
I had one of
resources
those.
than us. We know that much. We don't know if they're as powerful as they say, but they do have fast transport, which I would trade a lot of grunt for.
Yeah, it's everything exactly.
Based on your earlier interaction, Scott, they chased you down and you are
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
And they looked like they were practicing.
I run
doing
at
so.
like 50 miles an hour, and they caught up with me.
They
What's a
got you
mile?
and caught you like they're used to doing this to people and like managing to do it without killing them.
Mhm.
Yeah. What's a
and-
mile?
Oh, it's
What's
a
the
form
hour?
of distance. It's a
Oh,
form
okay.
of time.
What is time?
Time is
Relevance.
yeah, it's
Time is
relative.
This is the rest of the session.
Time is relative.
Yes.
Speaking of which,
you
we should
know,
probably get
you know
moving.
how every
Yeah,
time
let's
we
get moving.
Yeah.
every time we speak, this is important
Sorry
to
about
Morgar. Every time we speak, things continue. When we're not there, that is time. It's like everything is moving forward. The planet is moving around.
Right. Slow down, egghead. What is
What is
speak?
a planet?
What is speak? I know what a
This
planet is. I
continues
have a
as-
globe.
That's true, you do.
Yep.
No, don't
yeah,
actually. I gave it to the. I gave it to the Ark, didn't I?
but you're aware of
And
what
the
it
sun
is.
rises and the sun
Done.
drops. It's actually us that's turning around it.
I don't have a son.
Me
I'm
either.
gonna say
That
by this
you
point,
know of.
Jinx has left and made her way back to the Ark. Is making her way back to the Ark.
Excellent.
Not made. They've not been talking so long. They've actually made it back and returned with it.
Yeah.
But you've got on. You've got your two grunts. You've got Red with you. Red is much more vigilant now, and you see her looking through
Yeah,
her
right.
binoculars.
Let's move.
And she looks nervous. The two grunts get back on. Mary, I'll say that they do take the kind of like selection of the best looking tools. You now have a shitload of tools, I believe, because you keep finding them everywhere. So In the
I'm going
future,
to
when
go
you
up
need
to.
tools, she's the only got stuff.
I'm going to go up to red.
Yeah.
What
Red
seems
looks, yeah.
to be making you nervous?
Have I not told you about the hell drivers? Did you call them hell riders?
All right.
All right.
I just.
They took my team. Did Flair not tell you?
She did not get to that. I don't think it's appropriate when we're out in the zone to talk about things that happen in the zone that make people nervous. But
I figured it
we
was your
have-
decision to tell people.
I've seen what they've done. They're dangerous. I think they're as powerful as they say. They're brutal as well.
the good
They
thing,
actually they didn't take our team. Sorry, she's seen them take somebody else. That's what it was.
I did get that sense. They caught me pretty quickly and easily, and they seem to do it with no hassle. So they are used to other mutants.
I think they've got something we've not seen yet. That
They also killed their own
Luck-
person.
Luckily,
Which is
they
worrying.
believe we are stronger than we actually are. But we do need to get rid of that scout. We need to find out who that is, eliminate them, and we need to make an allyship with the ghoul, because eventually they are going to catch wind that we are actually as weak as they believe. I'm hoping that their boss believes that they may as well wait us out. And that will give us time, but we need to be prepared.
I hope so. Our numbers are probably keeping us safe now, but I think they're gonna. I don't know when they're gonna come. They might wait until we have enough for stealing. I will also add that yous have seen mutants kill mutants. The arc is dangerous, and mutants kill mutants. Like life isn't worth too much. So although like what he done was surprising, it wasn't really that surprising because the guy was a liability at that point, and like so. To us, it's weird.
It's a bit.
To mutants, it's
weird,
like. Sometimes you gotta tell people.
The thing I fear is we have many deaths on the ark. Obviously, we are all very aware of it. But I remember reading on books of the ancients the thing they like to call war, and how things get worse during war. And I would rather not fight an enemy that's stronger than us. You need to know when to strike, when not to.
If we can find him. If we can find the scout or the spy or
we may get more information about them and know what we're up against.
That's smart. If someone sold us out, that would make sense.
And
we should think about who's came back recently without their team, or came back injured, or maybe just came back
or traveled this
well-fed.
way often. It may be a team. We don't know. But I will bring this up with the bosses when we return. I'm sure many of them will want to get this person. I don't think even Diane would argue with me on this one.
Do you think that merchant back there might have come into contact with these scouts, perhaps?
He seemed to be afraid of the people with vehicles, but he may know the scouts. He did mention dealing with scouts in the past. And if someone is
shit down, you guys like about loads of good plot points. That's way better than I wrote.
Yes. Perhaps on our way back we will pop in and see Stu. He may be able to inform us of other people from our that travel through here, and we'll just make it casual, not tell him we suspect things. He won't want to lose a customer at all, but if we just make small talk, perhaps he will let something slip.
Or we could hit him with this hammer.
We could do that, but I like Stu. I don't want to harm Stu. Stu gave me this nice perfume, all these waters, and he seems to agree with me philosophically. So he seems to be self-interested.
Stuff, right?
And the good thing about self-interested people is you know where their morals lie.
Lee, see while this conversation's happening, I'm just completely shut off to the world. I'm trying to shake the doubt of just what happened to the conversation. Am I okay to make another shake it off roll? Because I want,
You
depending on how it
failed your
goes.
first shake-off roll, so what I'm going to
Yeah.
say is that this you're going to have to do the rest thing, which I believe is a 4-hour rest to get your doubt back.
Well,
Uh-huh.
the
You
reason I
do-
was going to say it, to ask you if I was allowed to do it, is because depending on how this roll, the roll goes, will
Mhm.
determine my next course of action and what I do next.
I will. I
I'll say
will
you've got two
point out.
options.
I will point out that I do have an ability that can heal your doubt.
Oh, yes.
So do I, but that's why I was asking. But if that's the
No, but I
case,
mean,
'cause,
like, I could.
I'll say the shake off you. It's a one and done, so you failed it. So
yeah,
I'm not
okay,
giving you another
that's
one
fine.
on
No
it.
problem.
Because it is incredibly powerful, and it works the way you say. You get one roll, but that's it. So
Yeah, that's fair
if
enough.
Scott wants to use his ability, cool. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go to sleep. I believe you can also drink some bevy to kind of like alleviate it. But
I'll
if
maybe
Scott wants to
drink
use
bevy.
his thing first,
Yeah, yeah. That's
Well,
fine.
he doesn't know you're in doubt yet until he has a
Yeah,
conversation with you.
I'm keeping it to myself. But
That's
if that's the case, then
Mhm.
the conversation that Red's having with Bogart, how's Red acting?
Red looked scared. Red looked genuinely worried when you started talking about the hell drivers. And
Well, there's my next thing. Genuinely, or is she acting?
ooh,
Mhm.
interesting. Immediately suspecting Red. Yeah, if you want to give me a sense of motion, I
To be
believe,
fair, she did come back herself.
with
That's what I
stories
was
of the hell
thinking.
drivers and how terrifying they are.
Well, I was the one that went and got her though.
You were.
You
And
were, but
asked for help and
who's to
stuff.
say that it didn't kill everybody
Ooh,
else?
is this dividing the group? Interesting.
Oh, well,
Bogart's taking her at the word. He doesn't. He thinks that if she would betray us to them, if like she wouldn't. It was dangerous, she would have said, "Ah, they're useless. Just killed a lot of them," like to save herself. That's how
She
Bogart's
didn't
thinking.
arrive until after though, so she wasn't there when it was happening. But
Mhm.
I mean, all these are valid theories. I'm giving nothing away.
Yeah.
Ulf, you look at her as she's doing it, and all you can see is someone that you know to be kind of tough, who looks
Mhm.
worried, who looks like she's being genuine. Like you're not like you can't know certainly one way or another.
Still side eyeing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Maybe
wouldn't
she's acting.
question her loyalty.
Ooh, I love the fact that Rachel's like, I will defend my friend. Uh,
Not that you know of. Like I say, I'll keep it to myself. I'll keep incredibly quiet about the fact of my doubt. It's because I'm under
sorry.
doubt. I wanted to make It was because I was under doubt. I wanted to make that roll. I was going. It's got to be a reason.
I'm gonna roll to see if I see him side eyeing her.
Here for this, guys.
In the meantime, Gray's just muttering to herself about not getting to use the
Mhm.
hammer on someone. Like, well, how difficult could it be to put someone
yeah,
back together? I mean,
with
it's all
it-
pipes and joints and stuff.
Sense
So
of motion.
Is it sense of motion for him?
If you can tell me what other skill you'd rather use, go for it.
Sense of motion seems to fit.
Sense of motion's fine, go for it.
2 successes.
Oh, good old
Eh,
Darbage.
Yeah, mate, you absolutely 100% see him kind of like looking with it. Like
successes.
you can see him observing it, and it looks like he's looking for something specific.
Mhm.
But with that role, mate, yeah, I mean, he suspects her.
Mhm.
Like he's questioned. Red's came back, and she's been telling people that these people are dangerous. But you also know that Red didn't approach you, but she has been sowing seeds because she spoke to people like this. She is genuinely scared of the Hell
Mhm.
Drivers.
And
Or
I
at
think
least
that
she's
if she
telling
was a
people.
spy, she wouldn't want us to know about the Hell Drivers. Like in my head, that's how Bogart's thinking. So I don't want to sense emotion her. He's been
That's what,
weirdly trusting of her. It's like everything she says has made sense. But he is going to approach Ulf and be like, as in, you seem to have been through a lot. Are you okay, my friend?
oh, nice.
No, I'm not.
It's tough out in the zone. But luckily for us, you have been very tough. I would have died multiple times if it wasn't for you, and that's just me. Many
That may be
and everyone
Sorry.
else has had similar experiences to me.
That may be true, but I couldn't have got us out of that last situation. I thought that was it. I
We
thought I
have
was fighting.
we have to play to our skills. Some of us are strong in certain it isn't others are strong than others. You are strong. That is your skill. And you're tough as nails.
Mm.
You are also more intelligent than you let on. If you don't
comes
trust,
in.
if you don't trust Red, bring it back up in the Ark, and we will take it seriously. But I don't believe that she is a risk. She would not tell us about the Hell Riders if she was a spy. They wouldn't want us to know about them when they're spying on us.
Do you know
Lee
much
is
about do you know much about horticultural stuff?
Ah, I know a little. I've been learning more to know more about my team. It's always good to have things to talk about. But in the Ark, there may be books on horticultural that I could get you. We could go to a garden center when we're out in the zone, get more. I am far more. I agree with you. We need to farm more food. We need food, or we cannot
Rage,
lose.
I've put something on roll 20 for
we
you to
can-
look at.
Yeah.
We cannot lose the numbers that we are losing and win
Well,
this war.
Well, if you ever manage to get a card, get anything on horticultural, you should maybe read up something about weeds.
Yeah.
It's
Say
interesting. Yeah, it's weeds. They're an interesting plant. You should probably look that up before you judge Red.
I promise that I will take your comment seriously. And when I go to the bosses, I'm sure that she will be on the list of people to look into.
Yeah. Especially look up the dandelion or the daisy because they see
Oh,
themselves as flowers. They don't see themselves as weeds, and people see them as flowers and not realize the weeds. Just something to think about.
yeah.
What the heady is blocked. There is burned out vehicles blocking the path to a large concrete structure.
I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder at this point, and I'm going to use my ability to make him feel better.
Yo, is this a mutation or a skill?
I think I'm just going to use my skill.
Yeah, look, I mean, you've had enough of a chat. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Give me a roll, and just if you've got, for every success you get, he gets a point back.
Nice.
I would assume it's.
Is this the counselor thing that you're rolling? Is that
yeah,
what this is?
I think that's a sense of motion, isn't it? Or is that
No, unless it's a skill that you've got in particular. Like your.
I'm sure that it's like you can do it through talking, like you can heal people's.
I'm cool with that, yeah.
I'm not 100% on that, but I still have. I know my power can do it.
Yeah. The way I see it is you'll have your skill as a chronicler, and if you're a counsellor, that'll come through. That might come through. That
so inspire maybe would be better then.
Like my shake it off basically is what that does instead of just going off whatever. It just gives me for depending on the talent I have, I'm able to do stuff like shake off doubt with cynic and other stuff.
Fair, actually. It's you help someone, you get extra
inspire. I got 1 success.
Right, that's cool. I'll say just based on the level of RPs we're doing there, you can just get put back to full. Because I mean, you went at it there, so it's absolutely fine.
In that case, I will as he does that, puts a hand on and says, "I will take your advice on board, though."
Yeah. That's cool. So yeah, you've talked about this for a while. I mean, this has been a fairly long journey as we're going on. So you went back and forward, and yeah, ahead of you there is a kind of large kind of concrete, looks kind of hastily built. So it's like fairly like crude, but it blocks the road. It goes over with enough space for like a large vehicle to get through. There's some large metal-looking gates, and there is some burned-out vehicles that have got like various bits of detritus in them.
Hey, Boggart, what? Wait. What does this writing say here?
And what does the writing say there?
It basically says like checkpoint, quarantine checkpoint, and it just gives indication you to stop your vehicle and you have to allow yourself to be checked by military personnel to ensure you're not infected.
It seems to be a quarantine checkpoint from the plague that killed the ancients. Well,
I know the
most of the ancients. We have our elder, and we have another older elder that we met before. which I find quite suspicious. But
I know the word checkpoint. I just don't understand what it means. I know it's a word.
it means you stop there. It's like they probably were coming to get checked by doctor. Like, see how you do your spit thing? There's other ways to do that.
Right, again.
Right, the road ahead of you is blocked by some vehicles. You can try and smash them out the way, but there is still the gates to deal with. How do you want to proceed with that?
I'm going to
Well,
run to the toilet quickly.
Yeah, me and the guys will get we can push the vehicles out the way. That's no problem.
Absolutely fine, yeah. So between the three grunts, you just go up and you just drag them. It takes some time, and they're heavy and like their tires are flat. But you know, these are again, this is what you guys do. Yeah, you just drag the vehicles out. You just have a check through them. There's nothing much of interest in them.
You said they were burned out, yeah.
Burned out. These looks like there's holes in them. They're smashed. Yeah.
Anything interesting in them?
No, they have been destroyed. They've been here for a long time and like subject to the elements. It looks like something happened at this checkpoint.
Right.
But yeah, and now ahead of you there is a large there's a large metallic gate of some kind.
Which is iron, but we wouldn't know it's iron.
Yeah, you aren't going to like get into the metallurgy of this.
I
You
could
just don't know.
imagine it probably. I could probably
I mean, if you
understand
want to run
iron
some
as a thing.
tests so that you can jury rig something together to see what kind of metal this is, and
Oh,
then
if it
I'll go
rusts.
iron.
Yeah. If it rusts, yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of alloy. But yeah, so that's it. How would you like to proceed?
Open
Any way
gate.
around?
Yeah, you could actually go round the checkpoint itself. The concrete kind of like leads off. It is quite rough terrain, so it might be quite hard to get through.
Would the tractor get through it?
You can certainly try.
Thought so. Right. Yeah. Well,
Stand
I'll
up and look at it.
I'll look at the stalkers. What do you think? I mean, there is a way round, but it might take longer, and I get a little bit more nervous every time I think about these hell riders being able to move as quick.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, she's doing a thing. She's mouthing it. She likes to play this game every so often. Means you're muted, Rach.
Are you? So I'm muted on Roll20, not Roll20, on Discord. Oh, she's muted on her she's muted her headset.
You know, it's good as well because I was talking and I couldn't say what I wanted to say anyway.
I will say that the large gate does look like you could open it.
It
Which
does
way?
look like it because what I
it's a
said
gate.
before when you couldn't
Yeah.
hear me because I forgot I had it was
I'll
on
kind of like
mute.
look over at Gray and be like, you were able to see into that room. Would you be able to do the same for there?
Imagine a gate that's got like kind of like it's literally a gate, so it's like bars on bars, so you can see through it. You can see this leads to an area, which leads to another gate, which seems to lead to the road beyond.
Yeah.
Is there an
I
obvious
feel
way to
like this
open
may
it?
be a perfect place for a flap, and I'd rather not be jumped.
Does it open in the way or out the way?
It actually opens into the wall, so it actually slides into the wall itself. It's like, for example, it's one on either side, as they both slide into the wall. So there's one road coming, which would be the other way, and the road that you're on. Obviously, you're using driving in the middle because you don't understand the rules of the road, but you know.
Also, the road's a bit.
Yeah, it was a bit wonky.
Flair, do you fancy coming and checking it out with me?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. Me and Flair, the double act of the game, baby.
I would actually
Yeah,
think
you are.
Gray's sonar would be probably pretty useful here,
Yeah.
but
I'm not stopping you doing anything. You just do
I
what you
too
like.
agree. I too agree. But however,
Mhm.
I don't know she has sonar. So the case being, me and Flair are going to check this out like we've done hundreds of times.
Oh, did
Thanks,
she know
Scott,
that
and
she
you-
did
Clean up
sonar?
now.
She did sonar in the warehouse, so would they know about her ability?
Is that noticeable though? That's the thing, because she can just blink and then all of a sudden.
I don't know, Mary. Is it noticeable? Do like your ears get massive or
Yeah,
something? Or
That's what I was,
you
that's
go,
what I was thinking.
I think what happens is maybe some people can hear a very slight sort of high pitched sound. Like, well, you know when bats are flying about.
I
just
do
gone-
not understand any of that. I'm a grunt.
So Granny goes,
Yeah, I just okay.
So you can hear part of it, but it's the lower end of it you can hear.
I get you.
So like when you get that very high pitched noise, so yeah, I mean you're aware of mutations. You've heard mutants in the arc talk about being able to see in the dark and like use sound to augment their vision. So I mean, yeah.
I'm not putting
I mean,
that
Green
together.
may well have mentioned it. I don't know.
I am going to climb on top of it with my mutation.
Okay, well the way it works is you've got the actually you could climb on top of it. Yeah, you can walk up the side and kind of climb up. There's no
Pure
stopping
insect,
you.
like well, it's my power. I've got the power to do it, so I'm like literally running up it like an insect.
You do your weird, horrifying insect thing, and there's a raised platform, and yeah, there's appears to be like a room that's encased in so like just a concrete room with a kind of door that's blown open and closed.
Can I see
and it's
any?
like a walkway right the way down, and it seems to be something similar on the other side.
I'm gonna kind of like keep to the roof, and try and like kind of keep an eye out in case there's any like people kicking about.
If you want to have a look, you'll give me some kind of roll that will have a look for people.
Yeah,
Actually, no, don't bother. You have a look around. You don't see anyone. I mean, you look, you bang the door, you look where you think people would be able to hide.
I'll kind of like look down and be like, it's all clear.
Go and see if the gate works.
The gate moves. It's very heavy.
So I'm just like, oh, come on.
Oh, what's the grey? I'll give you a hand, and I'll.
It just goes.
Yeah. No, I'll just
Is this like somebody struggling to lift a bag and you've just went, go?
Yeah.
There you go. But the grunts you managed to put open. They put a little bit of resistance, but it's almost like they've been opened before. Maybe not recently, but yeah, somebody opens and closes these gates. But yeah, they open and it leads you into an area where it looks like maybe the inspections took place. There's various posters up on the wall which Bogart can read, which indicates something about where you should wait, why you should wait, what you should expect if you fail the test. You'll be taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. You also notice a couple of little side areas.
I'm going to have a peek in the side areas.
Absolutely, yeah. So going in there, you have a look through it, and there seems to be like various types of kind of medical equipment. Well, you would recognise it as medical equipment from being a Sawbones. You've seen stories of these kind of items in the books that you've read. I've looked up some names, so I'm going to read them. Well, I didn't look this one up. Tongue depressor, ophthalmoscope, which is an eye examiner, so I looked that one up. And various other. And a pamphlet describing signs of infection, things to look for: redness in eyes, shortness of breath, bleeding gums, other horrifying things that would be very easy to notice. But it does talk specifically about the ones that are early stages of infection.
I'm going to write it down, but I'm not going to bother about taking any of the equipment except for maybe some random tools that we could maybe use.
I mean, these are all particularly medical things. Inspection stuff.
We're not going to be needing to check each other's eyes. We're mutants, for fuck's sake. It's like...
You guys are pretty horrifically bloodshot most of the time anyway, so...
Hey, I have these symptoms.
Yeah, there might be gubbins in it, though, if we could strip it down for parts.
That's up to Grey. I do not need a lot of this equipment, just the general tool. Like, why would I need to check the eyes of mutants?
Oh, body
We've
tools.
got such beautiful eyes with the lip goggles.
You also think things like PPE, so you got rubber gloves, eyeglasses, like the kind of cheap aprons that people wear, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I'm going to take it, but that's because it's going to be very useful for my barbecue later.
You could wear one as a cape as well, just at the back.
Oh yeah, do it in a run and make you look as if you're flying.
Oh yeah, because yes, that would look awesome.
I would look even better with him because he runs out stupid miles.
Since I run like Naruto.
And Bogger, as you're looking through it, one of them appears to be an office desk, kind of like that computer thing. You've heard of the stories of them, and I see it's very basic, but yeah, it appears that whoever's in charge would maybe spend time in here.
The computer turn on?
Computer doesn't appear to work. It maybe work if you got it powered up, but at the moment, you flick the switches, nothing happens.
I'll kind of like look over it and go, I've heard of these devices. It was a advanced form of book. Would you be able to turn it on? We may be able to find information.
I can try.
You
We do
flick
have
the
a
switches,
battery.
there's
but-
No, this...
you flick the switches, it doesn't appear to work. I mean, you could probably get this thing running if you want to use the battery, absolutely. You need to jewelry it. You do find some printed orders beside it. And as you're looking through the drawers, you also find some bullets. I'll say 7 bullets and a bottle of booze.
Yeah.
I will take the bullets and I will hand the booze to Ulf.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. As you, so yeah, you manage to get the door, and then in front of you there's more doors to open. There is also off to the side, it seems to be like some kind of storage area. There's 2 large containers. We would recognise them as shipping containers. What you see, like you'd recognise them because there is actually shipping containers on the Ark as well.
Mm-hmm. I love him
They
one.
have, you do 11 yeah.
All these
they're both closed
phones.
over. Yeah, they're closed over at the moment, and then there's a gate leading back onto the road on the other side.
I'll kind of like look at them and go, should we look at these or should we leave it till we come back? I could imagine it taking a long time to look through them.
Already
Maybe
knocking
we
on the side going,
should.
dunk, 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 dunk.
It is a solid shipping container. It's rusty, but yeah, it seems serviceable. The doors are closed over and the locking mechanism's in place, but it is shut.
You
It
know,
appears
if
to
we
be secure.
had like wheels on that, we could take it back to the Ark with a lot of stuff in it.
Maybe
Just like
with
Skyrim, when you pick up absolutely everything. It's like, why do you have 3,000 forks? I don't know. I might need them.
Mhm.
Why not?
Perhaps we can come back one day and get them, but you do have a mission to get to. But there may be something useful inside if you want to look in. I am going to leave it up to everyone else. Flair, what do you think? You're the stalker. Should we keep moving or should we keep looking?
I think we should keep moving. It's important to complete the mission, especially since we don't know if they're on our tail.
That is
2
their
grunts right
point.
there, like, you sound even gonna look. We could just look.
No, Lee, we're not looking.
I'll kind of like
My
go,
hand's already on the
stupid
thing to
grunt.
open it.
I was saying stupid grunt as Gray's opening it.
Useful there. On the door, there is a sign saying removed from infected.
Oh, so it's medical stuff. Hmm.
No,
There,
you
there
knock on the
might
door.
be
Who knows what's in there?
personal valuables in there.
Yeah, it's personal effects
Yes.
removed
Let's,
from infection.
let's
Shoes,
look
there might be
inside
Insurance
shoes.
for
this
decontamination.
one. I'll admit. I'm sure
Yeah,
there
you'll
are
get-
some useful things in here, and I'll admit I'm guessing it's empty.
No, you pick one. You'll see you pick the one on the left. You open up, and it is filled with clothes.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Wait, are the dead people's clothes?
Of
Well,
course
there's
they're
people-
dead.
I mean,
Of
like
course
taken
they
off
Mhm.
people that have died.
Is
sort of
there
like
a
all
top
over the
hat?
So
States.
it's
Um,
Is there a
give
top hat?
me some kind of wits roll, or just a straight wits roll if you want, or look, you should
Probably.
give me a comprehend if you want to try and work out where these came from. Anyone wants to do this?
Well, I could easily tell them because I already read it.
yeah, he can read all the stuff in there.
Yeah, I mean, he
Find
knows
out.
exactly where it came from. It's
Yeah.
it was removed from the infected, taken from
They've
infected
been taken
people
from
and
the
then stored.
infant. They're close.
Yeah, I don't know.
You may as well have your pick of them. Do you like anything here? Does anything seem...
The good
My
old route.
girls.
Well, you get the impression that these were taken, searched through quickly, and flung in here. So they were probably just basically the soldiers that worked here were like invaluable. Nope.
Nothing in the pockets. Nah.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna
they
go
tossed
through
them.
looking for clothes for the
Mhm.
girls.
What kind of clothes would you like to find, Rachel? Because this is filled with clothes.
Okay, so
There's-
I want them to have kind of like matching outfits with me because I think that would be so cute.
Okay, we'll describe what outfits
But
you'd like to find.
also,
You get
Also,
like a
like,
soccer uniform, like your Fitbit uniforms.
Yo, stalker gang. Oh,
It's
you'll be
all
us.
also some like overalls or something, like sort of like what a gearhead would wear, like sort of like a mechanic's kind of I'm not sure what you call them.
Yeah,
like,
overalls.
like a
it's
mechanics,
fine.
like overalls, yeah,
Overalls,
like
yeah,
boiler suit
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
yeah.
Them, yeah.
You absolutely find whatever you want. There is belts, there is shoes, there is all kinds of things. Anything you want to find, eventually you'll find it.
Is there a
because it's
top
just
hat?
been. You find a top hat.
I will put
But it's
on
like
the
Nice.
that
top
size.
hat.
Tiny little top
I'm
hat.
gonna get some coats as well for the winter
Mhm.
Yeah,
and
you
some
find
hats.
fit clothes, you find whatever you want to is in there. So yeah, you find an assortment of clothes, we will call it, and you find
Okay.
matching outfits for you and the girls.
Yeah.
Okay, to be described at a later date.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get moving.
And you're not going to open another one though.
Yes,
I
we may as well.
I
You
will-
made me stop now, Scott. We may
Yes.
as well open the other one.
okay.
You open
Does it
another
have
one, and
any
this-
writing on this one?
It says the same thing. It's just items removed from infected
Yeah,
for
just all-
disposal.
We just go.
You open this one up, and this appears to hold like kind of like household items. You
Ooh.
Scott would recognise some of them. There's like lamps, microwaves, like camping equipment. Like there's
I am
like,
taking the camping equipment.
the camping equipment is a tent. You find a tent.
Yay!
You know, real life for one moment. Microwaves very interesting because they have a capacitor in them that can remain charged for years and fucking kill you if you take them apart. So
Interesting.
never
shit.
take a microwave
Mhm.
apart.
I didn't know this.
I did not know that. Good to know.
Me
I don't take
neither.
yours apart, but that is
It's useful to
terrifying.
have a gearhead because we maybe would have taken that microwave.
Only a real life gearhead, just so you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's obviously, I'll also say that just for funsies, we can do some rolls. You
Huzzah.
find 10 grub. Who would like to find grub?
I've
I
put
can do
quite
that.
a fair bit, so somebody else has done.
3d6 is how much grub you find.
Fucking hell.
Mhm.
I mean, you guys weren't even going to open it. I'm like, okay, don't open it then.
I was waiting on like an animal being in one, like some fucking monster.
Oh, I found 12.
3d6. You find 12 assorted tins. Unfortunately, as always, for some reason the labels have fell off. But you've got
Perished.
Oh.
Yeah.
12 tins of something, but you can eat them and you can distribute it or keep it all for yourself. Up to you.
It'll all turn out to be fruit salad.
Yeah.
Mix
Scott,
up
you need some food, don't you?
I think I do. I'm not 100%.
Mary, roll me 3d6.
Okay, I will do that.
How much
then.
food
3d6
do I
enemies pop out.
I have 9
This
food,
is how many
so
Hellraiders
I'm
are about to
fine.
turn
Oh, I
up.
got a 1 there.
You got 10
Scott,
in total.
I'll give you like 5.
Thank you very
Actually,
much.
wait, how many have I got? 12. I'll give you half, so I'll give you 6.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you very much. Do you want anything for it?
Of course not. The other half's just for my girls.
Mary, roll me a d666, please. 10 times.
10 times.
Yes, you found 10 bits of scrap. Usable scrap.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
We're really
Nice
good.
one.
I'm glad we opened this now.
Okay,
Mary,
the
you
first...
find a ceiling fan.
Okay, hang on.
Love it.
Right,
I'm
hang on, I
glad
have to write
Scott
it down.
did,
Ceiling
listeners.
fan first. Immediately forget how to write ceiling.
I think the fact that Lee kept insisting us to open it, I was like, we probably should.
Are you serious that I need to roll this 10
saying
times?
like, oh, I'm not going down that way. I'm not opening that treasure box. Nah, that seems rubbish. I don't want to go. It's like, I'd rather just continue. I like it when he's get stuff. I told you, I like
Okay,
him.
I'm gonna roll it again then. 141.
141. 141, you find a briefcase.
Briefcase.
Oh, nice.
And again,
Always
please.
useful.
Yeah, I'll just writing it down.
Mary, I think you're all
424.
getting 10.
424. You find music CDs.
Oh, CDs multiple.
Yep, you find. I mean, it says you've to roll a d6 to get this. So someone roll me a d6 to see how many CDs you find.
Right, someone roll d6.
1 second. Do. Oh,
One. You
sorry.
find one
I
CD.
found 1 CD.
So sorry, Mary.
That's alright.
Right. Another roll.
I rolled it in my head. You got 6.
I
One,
like
two,
to think
one.
it's a Britney Spears mega album.
You find a beard trimmer.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
oh, that I could really use that.
I'm sure
I'll
there's
keep rolling till
someone
I'm
that's
told
got
to
a mutation of like grows an insane amount of hair that would really want that.
Very much.
Probably.
Okay. Nice.
Keep going.
513.
513. A rubber duck.
Oh, yes.
lovely
Perfect.
Everything right in
No.
life.
I'm loving this.
645.
A Walkman with headphones and cassette.
Oh,
Ah,
it's a shame you
Brilliant,
found a
isn't
DVD and not a CD and not a cassette. A DVD.
Mhm.
can we tell which cassette it is?
No, it is a mixtape.
Okay.
Oh.
A mixtape of royalty-free music.
Yes. 216 is a 216.
216.
Next thing you find is a crime novel, which is very
Oh.
complicated
Oh.
language, so only Bogart could read that.
Can we read like really
Uh,
simple phrases, sort of
Yeah,
things?
you can read simple things like, but when it gets
Right.
complicated, so that's 634 is the next one. 634, a vacuum cleaner.
Oh,
Oh.
you can take that
could be
part.
Mhm.
5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, two more.
Okay. 152.
5, 2. A Cat 5 cable. I'm not sure what a Cat 5 cable is. Someone know what that means?
No.
I will look it up.
It is 2D 6 feet long, so apparently it's quite a long cable. Someone roll me 2D 6,
Yes.
please.
Someone roll those.
Are
Cat
you sure?
5. Yeah, go for it. Cat 5 cable, what was that? Cat 5 cable. How long was that?
I rolled really badly again.
5.
Still no idea. I've googled it and it told me less. Oh wait, hold on. All right, it's just like an Ethernet cable,
Ah.
and I believe you've got one
We've
last
got a
one.
computer. We've got an internet cable.
Yay! We can
Just
ruin
follow-
society
We just need
further.
internet.
6 3.
3 1.
We'll accidentally connect to
A
a satellite.
typewriter.
Find out everything that happened to ancients.
Cool.
So we
A
have multiple
typewriter.
sources to write our crime novel.
As you are pulling all this stuff out, you find one last thing. It's a wooden box. Give me one roll on the artifact the artifact table, please.
Oh.
So another roll.
On the artifact table, which let me just get to the right thing.
Just roll the exact same thing, Mary.
Artifacts. Let me
Okay. That would be 354.
354. Cool. Oh, what's it going to be?
You find an
Find it.
internet password.
You find a fucking machine gun.
Could be.
A Tommy gun.
189. 189.
That'll
what
be
number
like
did you roll
a
again,
2
please?
or something.
354.
354. You find a hockey helmet.
Yes.
And a hockey helmet.
I don't know why I keep getting so excited.
An ancient piece of headwear made of blue plastic. Basically, it's a personal protection rating 3 against damage. So it's basically a good bit of armor. And if you donated it to the Ark, it'd give them +1 for technology.
Oh.
But yeah, you currently have a +3 rating to your armor with your hockey helmet.
What's our
See
tech?
the Ethernet cable, it got a length of 5. Is that 5 feet?
Yeah,
Or
5
5
feet.
meters?
5
I
feet.
didn't know it was.
It does say feet. I mean, whatever. But I'll say 5 feet because
Okay.
otherwise that's a hell of a long cable that I'm sure you'd get up to some shenanigans with. So
I was going to
Yeah.
say max is 12, so 12-foot cable.
12
meters.
And with that, so that's you've opened the shipping containers. That's you've seen we've got all the kind of good stuff out there. The rest of the stuff either seems to be rotten or broken or just kind of like it was thrown in so carelessly it's smashed. There's plenty of clothes if you wish to come back and empty this of clothes, but that's up to you. And the grunts have moved over to the final gate and they've opened it.
In the
I
clothes
immediately
one,
give Bog at the crime novel.
Thank you very
in the
much.
clothes one, is it possible to find bags like backpacks?
If you want to find some backpacks, yeah. I mean, again, it's full of stuff. Like there is it's
Okay,
like
I just wanted to make sure.
floor to ceiling crap in there. So like there's shoes, whatever you want.
What crime novel is it?
I don't know who does crime novels. Is that
Agatha
Murder on
Christie.
the Orient Express?
Oh
Miss
yeah,
Marple.
yeah, it could be a classic. Yeah, it's Murder on the Orient Express.
Agatha Christie, Miss Marple.
That'll do. Yeah, basically the same thing. So yeah, it is a crime
Well, is
novel.
Agatha Christie the right on Express? Memories everything.
I don't know any of the
Right, I'll tell you
novels.
now. Yep.
So yeah, you start reading through it, and it is riveting. You're like, this is the best book by this author I've ever read that I found in a container. So yeah, you scan through.
I think I'd read it and be
the
confused that it's just for fun reading.
well, you're like, this is a how-to guide of how I could commit crimes. This is fantastic.
Oh
Um,
shit.
It's up to you whether you think this is a real-life account or an entertainment novel. I'll leave that to you. However, you do read. There is in the back. There is like reviews of it, so you know you're a smart guy. You could probably work out it's entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just open the back gates and the road leads on the kind of rickety, crappy pothole-filled road, the pothole-filled road. And you do know that you're getting much closer to your location now. You reckon it's probably less than half an hour away.
Oh, before I do anything else, I'm gonna attach the duck to the front of the tractor.
Oh, nice.
Love
You do
it.
so easily. There is now I'm going to say a large rubber duck attached to the front. And if you squeeze it, it does go make the honk noise. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's-
everyone looks very impressed. So yeah,
What
just
is
continue.
this?
Duck of war.
It's War Duck. So just and you just continue moving along. Again, the tractor is not particularly fast, but it is moving at a fair pace. It is making a lot. It is making some noise. One thing you do know is that traveling in the zone at night and not just kind of like finding a sneaky area to go into and hide is inadvisable. Ghouls, as dangerous they are during the day, become emboldened at night and tend to kind of scour the zone. I'll say now it's probably about 5, 6 o'clock and it's not dark, but you know darkness is coming in a few hours. You continue along the road and you do eventually arrive at the area you've been looking for. Let's make sure I get this right. Not that one, not that one, not that one. The Wolseley, there you go. I'll show you that. The Wolseley High Security Fencing Company. A large metal building surrounded by surprisingly sturdy-looking chain fence. Nearby tree and plant life are reclaiming the inner yard and building. A sign over the door reads Wolseley Security. Underneath in faded but legible sign are the words a subsidiary of AAMC Security. The building has a thick security fence with little to no rust showing. There are poles at regular intervals with spheres at the top. The building has no light source from inside and appears to be secure. There's a large, hastily written symbol of ghoul design on the outside of the front door. There is no movement around the building. There's also a low humming from somewhere nearby.
Might be a generator.
Might be.
Probably not, but you never know.
Can you tell if the fence is humming?
Oh, electric fence. Good thinking, Mary. Good thinking.
Yeah, how would you like to do so, Mary?
Ulf, can you go and touch that fence for me?
Sure.
Ulf, you go and you grab onto the fence. It is a solid fence. You give it a shake. It is strong.
It's a strong fence. Is this
Well
what
done,
we're looking
thanks.
for?
Come back, Kapang.
Yeah. Is
Yes,
this what we're
I
looking
think
for,
this
Miri?
is.
Miri, what we're looking for?
Grey, I
Grey.
mean, grey,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean grey.
I'm going to take the
Right.
sign off that's written by the ghouls, and if I can't read it, I'm going to like throw it away, like make sure it's no readable. Because it might be a warning to the ghouls.
Interesting. Are you going to try and understand it? Because I mean, Ghoul language is a mixture of the language you speak and the written language, and also some crazy ass symbology that they like to use. If you want to try and figure it out, you can try and comprehend it.
Okay, I'll try and calm down.
Or you just throw it away. It's up to you. I'm not making you do nothing.
So they why I read in case it tells us something like hideout.
The ghouls live here. Everyone hide. Wait for the tractor.
It's just exactly.
Successes? Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, cool. It Ghoul language is a difficult thing because ghouls are bonkers. So like each group that you've heard of, they talk similar but different. What you gather from this is it says danger, flying things that sting.
I'll kind of like look over and be like, I think there may be some type of insect in here. The ghouls seem to be afraid of something that flies that stings you.
I'm gonna
you
look
think-
at this. I'm gonna look at the sign,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna look at Bogart. Insect,
So,
you say?
what was he said
You go talk to what with the.
there? I see things. Many things.
Yeah, you say some sort of insect, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it says a flying thing that stings. What else would you describe it as? I should point out we do not know what drones are yet.
Just to give you a better idea, it's a large building. The security fence does go the whole way around. It is in good condition the whole way around. The gate is lying open though. The sign with the ghoul design was kind of like to the side of that, and it was written on top
Okay,
of something.
okay,
When you
like,
look through
look-
it, basically gives you opening times of what this place would have been open, and the ghouls have kind of written over it. But you can get access to the yard, and the building does appear to be kind of locked up.
Okay, they like look over at Flair and be like, have any of the other stalkers encountered flying things that sting them?
You're gonna be a
Not
know the zone.
I have heard.
Have you heard of it? Have you encountered it, or has anyone else like mentioned things like this? If the ghouls are afraid of it, we should be concerned.
It's not something I've ever heard of, but you never know. Maybe someone has come across something and just not said.
Okay, they like look over at Red at this point.
Red looks back to you and says, and she looks briefly at Flair. Of course you've heard of the dangers of the zone, the bugs, the zone wasps.
Oh, if those things. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I actually.
You've seen. Now I think about it, you've heard them, Scott. You've read about wasps. Wasps are teeny tiny small. What they describe to you are not teeny tiny small wasps. They are big, and they are aggressive, and they make when they're nearby because you can hear the humming.
Ah, I was gonna say, have I heard enough about like how things have worked to know that like smaller things were mutated through time? Like by
There's the
the
wasps in the place.
I mean, you can hear a noise that indicates that
Maybe
The
there's a
thing-
wasp's nest somewhere.
you mentioned
Or like the
humming. Okay, they're
I
like
like to think that that's actually Flair just processing the information, being like, "Wait a minute." Beep, 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 beep.
I'll kind of like look over at Gray and be like, you can do that thing that you can set an area, can't you? Can you sense any life with your ability? I don't know how it works.
It just the sound and then back. That's all.
Could you do that and see if there's anything like floating in the air, so we know where
Oh
these
yeah,
may be?
of course I can. Okay, in real life, I know like wasps fucking hate sounds like radios and things, so this is probably gonna be really bad. But yeah,
I
I do
do
it.
think it would be very bad. I have heard stuff like these noises irritate them, but it could also scare
If
them
they are
off.
mutated, this was the terrible idea. Very, very bad.
Red
I've already
nods and
taken
agrees
this
like
big
these
breath.
things don't like noise. What I will say is, as you ping off a pulse of the sonar, the humming gets louder.
I'm going to
However,
pull
there's
out the gun.
What's wrong?
Let's just
Hey,
get
what's
this
happening?
fence down.
The fence. Would you mean the fence outside, or are you trying to get inside?
Do we go inside first, or get the fence down then go inside?
Who knows what you're going to do? I'm so
Well,
excited.
we need the
to find out.
fence, and if we go inside, something bad happens, then at least we'll have the
we
fence.
need
so
to rest here tonight, so it's probably best that we keep the fence up to keep us protected, and then remove it
That's
in the
a good
morning.
point. Yes, let's
And-
do that. Let's
And I'm just going to
get in
go.
this building.
Hell the fence and then it's all electricness.
Yeah. The gate is open, so are you taking the
I
tractor in, or are you
still,
leaving the
I
tractor on the road?
still go over the gate.
Oh, no, I'm on board for that, mate. I absolutely am 100%
I don't.
behind
You'd
that.
think I'd jump back down, but I kind of like crawl back down like how an insect would fall back.
I usually like that flop thing where you
Oh,
Can us like sort of skirt around the perimeter and just check there's no imminent danger?
absolutely fine. You can give me a scout roll or the zone roll if you want to go round. What I'll say is that, Mary, when you done the ping, you found them, the wasp. They're inside. You're not sure how they got in there, but they're in there.
Hey,
What'd you get?
got three successes.
Well, that's very successful. When you're going round the building, especially when you get to the back, the humming is much, much louder. As you come round, you notice as you go round it's louder, and as you approach, it gets louder still. Like they know you're there, but it appears to come from the other side of the wall, like it's inside.
Okay. So when I get back, I think these flying insects are on the inside of the building, so at the back. So be careful, very, very careful, because they will hurt, and if they are mutated, then terrible things might happen.
I'm just coming back from it, going and confirming. Yeah, they're in there.
Oh yeah. Did you go near them? I just. Yeah.
Okay,
What I'll
so
say is, as you
Stings
step around the
all over.
building, you did check. You know very much if they were stinging you. As you check the front door, you do see that it is. You can open it. You could get inside if you wanted. But how would you like to proceed? Are you resting,
you
I
or
said
are
that
you
these
going in?
things are
Can I be
drawn to
sneaky?
sound, didn't you?
I'll come back to you in a second, Rachel. Scott, what were you saying?
You said these things are attracted to sound. Perhaps we can draw them outside and trap them out there.
you're just full of ideas
Problem.
tonight, aren't you? Jesus Christ, you're on
Scott's
fire.
like, "Sorry, the chroniclers are rubbish. Anyway, watch me just
Aye.
go through this solo.
Solo in this fucking game all day. I'll just sit back and just be the grunt.
No, I'm just going to
Problem
convince
is,
these to like
when
fly
we-
straight into water.
Problem is when we need to be outside tomorrow. What if they're still there?
Well, we will have the defense of the building, and at night the ghouls like to attack. They might kill them for us.
Well,
It's
on
possible.
top of that, you're right enough in your saying, but if there's a way they got in here, then surely they would use that way again.
Yes, but it means they may only have one small area that they can come through.
Well, wait a minute. There's another good idea. I mean, how did they get in the first place? Surely we could go in through that way.
That would not be the wisest idea because that might be where they're congregating.
That will be
Well, we don't know until we find out.
probably the
Good
most
point.
dangerous way to get in, I think.
We won't know until we find out, I guess.
Let's just go through
And
the
if you
door.
find out where they're going in, maybe you can do your idea about the sound and
Yeah.
lure them out that way.
Excuse
So the
me,
rest of
who's
us can
going to
get
be
in.
making the sound?
Of course, it's
I
going to
could
be
do it.
you.
I can just bang on it. Use a sound. I can bang on a can or something. And
And
I
perhaps,
can scream real
perhaps-
loud.
perhaps
In
someone
fact,
can turn
that'd
the
be
engine
better.
on, or that duck thing that makes a noise. Can you maybe set something up?
well, even better. I mean, if we
Wait,
get
wait. We have a Walkman.
We do.
what about
Does
what
it
about
work?
We're
Bogart?
gonna
I mean,
wreck all these fucking walls.
Yeah, but I
you
could.
give it to Bogart because he can run pretty fast. I mean, he probably outrun these, right?
Probably.
We could do
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could draw all them to me, and then as soon as they're out, I will run through the door. And
Well, they will
Who's
think
running?
you're their friend because you
Well,
probably
yeah.
look like them.
But that's
That is-
actually not a
Or
bad
they
Yes,
idea.
want to eat
perhaps,
one of those.
perhaps I can
You
befriend
look like
them.
a ladybug. Just to clarify, I'm
Aye.
pretty sure wasps eat ladybugs.
Aye.
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
I'm probably the food to them.
I'm going to guess.
They'll definitely chase you then.
Yeah.
like a bug's life in it. So I'm a
Uh,
ladybug. I look like a girl, right?
I
Red
haven't seen
is
that
going
forever.
to kind of she's going to say, let's say, have you ever met Zone Wasp before?
No,
No.
I'm alive, so
They're terrible.
Right, their sting is agony. From what I've heard.
I do not
it
want to be the
paralyzes
bait.
you. I mean, we could distract them. That's not a bad idea. Does anyone know what they're susceptible to at all? Are you going to shoot them or capture them, or how many is there?
Where is that a wasp's nest?
Hmm? Or is that a wasp nest? Did you put
Now,
something funny in
I
the
have
chat?
played the game, so I technically know
It's the
what they
wasp nest,
are
yeah.
weak
Yeah, I
against,
thought
but
so.
my character would not know this.
Mhm. I mean, like, I'm not telling you to play the game. I
I've,
would say
would
look to
I
your
have inter-
mutations, perhaps.
There
Would
is a
I come
particular
across them?
mutation that would deal with it in 1 second, but
Oh, fire.
I still love when Rachel remembers. Wait a minute, I can do
Wait.
this.
Hold on. The nest
Guys
made of
can.
paper.
Surely all our problems can't be sorted with fire. Listen, I mean,
I think
Well,
many of our
insects
problems
do
Put
die
I love
very
you for there,
quickly
but
in fire.
many of our problems have been solved with fire, though. It was the thing that the ancients created that allowed them to build things and cook things.
still,
If
I
we
can-
found the entrance to which they made, then possibly if I breathe the fire through there, they will get crispy.
Yes, we could also get Gray to do the sound, and maybe it will draw them towards you.
And also, vacuum cleaner's very good at killing wasps, but these are probably quite big, so.
Well, it is a lot of noise, so we could really irritate them outside that gap that you're on about, and then they'll come
not a-
out that way, and she's just like, "Rah!"
it's not a bad idea.
How
Okay, we're
would you
gonna-
like to proceed? I'll say at this point, you're getting late in the evening. It is getting dark.
We need to make decision now.
Okay, let's deal with them quick then.
Um,
I'm not resting. Screw this. Let's fight the wasps.
Yeah,
Oh, we'll
let's
Have
need,
you
we'll
guys
need to
just
get in the
seen-
building.
have you guys just seen the thing they put on of the waspies?
I can't see it.
This is specifically for Rachel, but you
Okay.
can all read it.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing Flair has seen these.
Well, you and Red kind of put your head together, and she talks about what you know, and you remember the stories that you've heard about the wasps. And I used the picture of the Cazador from Fallout New Vegas.
Mm.
Um,
I hate Cazadors.
Why not
Here.
just use the
Damn it.
one from Mutant Year Zero?
it
wait.
had a better picture.
Alright.
We've got an
Okay, I'm
hallucinogenic
thinking
poison.
maybe-
Can we farm them?
I'm thinking maybe we'll leave them.
But we need to rest here tonight. We have run out of time, which means
Yes,
we need to
but
deal
we
with them.
try and leave them so not get in their space. Because they may be in a room. Like a separate room.
Can we be
Because the whole
inside the
place
fence?
is not just going to be wide open.
Be inside the fence, but not inside the building. Is that all
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. There is a yard there. I'll say that the
Well, we can't
largest
get-
building is clearly where the fencing is kept when it's getting ready or getting made and ready to ship out.
I would
Uh,
feel safer inside. I don't want anyone passing to see us.
I will say that if you bring the trailer into the yard, there is some smaller buildings that look perhaps like work sheds or like
Oh, then no,
there's like
definitely.
a brake cabin kind of thing. What we would recognise as a great porta cabin is what we'd recognise as.
Hmm.
You'd recognise as a kind of flimsy building.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's just leave the wasps alone and go in there then.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to kind of like put up the sign, if it's still there, on the door we're going to go sleep in. So they think that the wasps are in here and might go in the other one.
Now, what are you doing with the tractor? Are you pulling that into the yard?
Yes.
I think it'll be safest.
This has got to draw the bit in it.
I don't know. Is it?
Gotta make a lot of noise.
Dude.
Maybe
as
we
you
should
start-
have like a watch so no one comes out and steals it, or in case the guys pop up out of nowhere.
Oh, I'm saying we should park it next to that building so then people think we're in that building.
What what I would say is that Mary, you could easily disable the tractor. You know, you could just pull the battery out and it wouldn't work. And it's very surprising if a zone ghoul knew what the fuck it was. But if you just want to pull it into the yard, you just can absolutely do so.
I think
Can
I've
we-
made
I think
enough
we should have
decisions tonight,
lookouts.
so I think it's other people's turns.
I think we should have lookout just
You can absolutely have a
because.
look out what he's doing with the tractor. Is it staying on the road or is it coming into the yard?
I would prefer it to be in the yard, but we could potentially just like
Are you
I
all
would have
staying on the
lit in the
tractor as it
yard.
comes into the yard, or are some of you going to the porta cabin? How are you doing this?
I'll go to the porta cabin because I'm not
And
strong
lock all the
myself.
windows and cover myself up and hide. Is everyone doing so, or who's staying with the tractor? Who's going to say, "Well, how are you doing this?"
I'm supervising the tractor being
Well,
pulled.
you're the driver, so you have to bring in the. Hey, expendable NPC, you drive the tractor. I'll go and hide over here.
Not a bad idea.
All I'm saying is we should have drawn the mountain flame for them.
Up you go.
I'll go on watch first.
Right. If you are driving the tractor in,
Mm.
as you pull into the yard, the buzzing gets louder, and you notice several wasps fly out of what looks like the roof area of the and start flying toward the tractor.
But what I was
No.
suggesting was pulling the tractor in manually with the
That's
big
what I
grunt.
was thinking. Why didn't we do that?
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to turn
Right,
it
I
off.
That's why I
will
kept
do
saying
you a
pulling the
retcon
tractor in.
if that's what you were trying to say to me. I'm cool with that.
I will go find the clip of me saying pulling the tractor in if you want.
When you said pull the tractor, I assume you were like when I pull the car into the drive, I drive the car in, I
Well-
don't get out the car and drag it in.
Yeah.
That's fine, okay.
Oh, I see. Right,
Yeah.
okay.
But that's
No,
fine.
I
If
just
that's what
thought
you meant.
pulling.
Too noisy
That's
for
absolutely that's
wasps.
why I keep
I was
asking
waiting on
because
you
I say-
saying that as your tires make noise, you hear the buzzing.
Yeah, for your bullshit. So yeah,
Oh,
you
well.
disconnect the trailer,
Mhm.
and then the grunts push the tractor in. Is that correct? And you just
Yeah.
bring it in, and then are you just pulling over the gate to shut it over, or are you just leaving the gate open?
Shall we
Just
shut the gate?
over.
I would have thought we would shut the gate, otherwise it's pointless doing this.
Yep. And
Yeah,
like I
I'm
say,
shut the
after
gate.
I was trying to be clear. That's absolutely fine. So yeah, you just do all those things. Because I hate to like then something happens like, oh, we should have done that. Well, you didn't tell me you done that. That's
and
anyway,
I've
that's
put
fine.
the stingy sign on the porta cabin that we are staying in.
That we're going to say.
Absolutely
Yeah.
smart thinking, right? Okay, yeah. Now, Rachel, you said you're set up a watch, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
It's
are you
important.
taking turn? You don't need a massive amount of sleep being mutants. I've like said, 4 or 6 hours. So that's absolutely fine. You can set up a watch fairly easily. As the night progresses, the humming does kind of recede a little bit. When it gets a bit colder, the wasps aren't quite as active as they are during the day. You do hear the kind of telltale signs of ghouls through the night, which is basically loud swearing in a Scottish accent. But they are fairly distant from you. They seem to give this place a wide berth, probably from the incredible danger of the wasps. But you hear some banging nearby. You see like some small explosions. But yeah, nothing say appears to approach. During your watch, I'm assuming you went first. He says to Rachel.
Yes.
Who's taking second watch?
I'll take second.
Yeah, absolutely
Unless
fine.
unless you want Red to take it.
Red is already sleeping underneath her duvet.
Oh, fair enough. I'll take it. I'll take second watch.
Bogart,
like,
Bogart
this.
is now sleeping on the ceiling of the wall with his head like turned round.
Just like
Love
For the
it.
sake of brevity, the night passes without issue. You have secured the area. It is considered dangerous by the ghoul population, and nothing gets particularly close to you. The sun starts to come up, and as always, the ghoul noises go down as they retreat to whatever places of safety they like to say during the day. And as the day gets warmer, you do notice the buzzing picks up again.
Okay. How do you want to do this? Do we deal with the wasp, or do we just take the fence and go?
Maybe we just take the things we need and then leave, because these things are very, very nasty. It could kill you.
Okay, I
The
will take
fence
They
around
could
the
kill
area
you.
you're in, there is a lot of fence, so you can absolutely take it down. It will take some time to take this fence down. It is secure fencing for a reason.
I've
You do have the
also
tools to do so. Mhm.
got written down that we need concrete and sand.
I know where they keep
Oh.
that.
Oh, for
And
fuck's
I'm
sake.
Inside
figuring that's
where the
Knew it.
gonna be
I knew it.
inside.
Do we need to
It's
get
weird that I made
inside?
it difficult.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get the fencing first, and then do the wasps
Let's
in the
deal
sand
with
and shit.
let's deal with the wasps
Um,
first. I don't want them attacking us when we're taking the fence down.
what I'll say is, see when you were in the porta cabin, it was like a kind of break area, and you did find some paperwork. From what you looked through, Scott, being a chronicler who likes to take note of everything he does, which is why you guys are so useful. You do search through the paperwork, and you do say, yeah, there's a lot of materials inside that building, which would be a lot easier to transport than pulling down this fence, which is probably going to take these days. Because again, it's secure fence. The whole point of it is it's not easy just to take up to take.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
much
there
of
seems
that?
to be. I'll kind of come
Sorry.
over and to Grey specifically, and I'll be like, it seems the more useful things are in that building, sadly.
How much of the the bottles of fuel we're using for the tractor?
Mm.
How much of that do we have?
You found a bottle at the abandoned place, and I believe I said you'd have enough fuel for a couple of days getting the tractor. So, let's say you've got 8 in total. I'll say you've used 2 again. So let's say you've got 6 left.
Enough to get back to the Ark and no more.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right.
that
Okay,
was
so
pretty- you
we
still
don't
already
have
found
any
the fuel source.
spare. Right. Okay. Never
Let's
mind.
say you've got some spare, yeah.
Because if we were say trying to burn them out, we might want to use some fuel on it as well to
Mhm.
try and make it a bit more
But-
effective.
Let's look for this hole. Did your sound pick up any holes?
We could burn the whole building down,
Did my-
yes.
Did my sonar map the interior enough to tell if there was
Enough
a
fire work. Yeah, you absolutely could.
It's over
I think
there.
we should do the fence first.
So it's on the roof. I know
I
that
think
because
we
of what
should
he
do
the
said,
fence
but my
first.
character doesn't know that.
Rachel did scout the building. Sorry,
Mhm.
Flair did scout the building, and she did see that there was no obvious way in from apart from the front door.
Nippy up onto the roof, and I'm going to be very
Right.
careful when I do that.
If you're going to go up the roof, I'll allow you to climb up the roof without an issue. However, if you're going to search around there, there will be a stealth check involved.
Can I see the hole without going on the roof?
I will say what you can see is it's kind of like on the far side of it, there appears to be like a raised area that looked like it was used for either ventilation or perhaps to let daylight in. There is something going on over there. Without
Okay.
going closer, you wouldn't really know though.
I'm going to put down a rope.
A rope. There we go. That's fine, yeah. You put down a rope. Is someone coming up? Oh, Rachel's shaking her head.
I am not skilled at this thing.
What the hell? I'll go up.
I have give my opinion, and I think you're being stupid.
We need the resources, sadly.
Somebody tell the wasps threatened our children and see what happens.
What? In fact, that is
Might
when
set fire to everybody.
Bogart's gonna be like, "What's that? You want to attack the children's orphanage?"
Bogart uses
I
his
can speak
influence
what?
abilities on. We're going to attack your children.
Yeah, I tried to ambulance back to the Ark.
No, she may
Everything's
actually
on
burn the
fire.
whole building down if I do that. And I'll kind of like, as in, like, hand you the alcohol bottle and be like, "You think you could get the alcohol in there, and then perhaps we could set it alight." I believe
Problem is,
the
will the not
ancients
just
called
fly out of
this
the
a
hole and come out,
Molotov
and then we can't get
cocktail.
the fence?
Well, if someone with flamethrower abilities were to come up, we wouldn't have this problem.
I'll make
But
a
the
start of
stuff's
the
still
fence, you do the
inside,
rest.
so if I set the place on fire, then it might destroy
It is
the
a
stuff.
metal building. This would be hard to burn this down. It is very well made. Again, because it's a security company, like this is them showing how good they can make things. So you could melt through this because your flame breath is particularly hot. But if you're just doing your usual fire, you'd have to do like a kind of concentrated flame to melt through the metal.
Okay. Okay, I'll go up and
Yeah, you will.
breathe some fire. And if this all goes badly, I'm blaming
I'm
Scott.
going to hand her the alcohol and be like, "You're sneakier than me. Throw that down the hole and then do your flame."
you know
Well,
when
how
me the
much do
alcohol?
I'm going to hold the
How
Walkman.
much?
I'm going to hold the Walkman and be like, as soon as you throw that down, I press the button.
How much alcohol am I throwing down, by the way?
Just a
Because
bottle, I think. That was good.
You're just chucking a whole bottle
um,
down.
we need
And
to get
you-
back, so
Wait, don't worry about it. You've found plenty of fuels. You'll definitely get back to the arc.
okay.
You've always got to remember is this. Although this sounds like a lot of traveling, you's actually it all takes place within a relatively short distance of each other. It's just
I mean, this is our
our
second rest. This is like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
okay,
probably
I
maybe
will-
40, 50 miles away.
Oh yeah, she's. I mean,
I'll throw the alcohol down and just go.
right. Before you do that, in order to get closer, you'll need to give me a successful stealth roll, or do you?
Good point.
If she fails, she's just
Stealth, where
flamethrowing
are
the
you?
minute they come up, though.
Do you mean sneak?
Yeah. Sorry, I say stealth. I mean sneak.
I'm
That's
going to
fine.
hold
I
my
was
That's
gun out
years
there.
of D&D just coming out of me there. So
Holding my gun and holding the Walkman ready to make a
I got
noise.
one success, so I
one
passed.
success
But
is enough. So you silently move towards it, and it does appear to be some kind of ventilation system that has kind of fell apart a bit. You can hear the buzzing coming from inside, and it does kind of echo a bit. But looking down, you can't actually see the wasps. So it looks like they maybe get in and out this way, but you would have to crawl in and go through to see.
Or we could throw the Walkman in there and draw them to it.
so when they fly up, then I breathe the fire.
And if it is a ventilation shaft with the flame, they'll kind of go through with it.
I'll say yeah, that'll be like a really cool effect, like
Yeah.
shoot
Yeah.
out the end. But you
Yes.
also, what I would say is based on your earlier scouting of the building, this is more towards like the kind of middle of the building. You're sure that the wasp nest was at the back of the building.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
might
thought.
travel in and out this way, but the wasp nest there might be some wasps, but
I think we'll have to coax them up here because they're all the way back there.
So,
This
I'm just gonna go, okay, press the Walkman button. And just like,
I'm prepared.
maybe hit me
to-
one more time. I'm assuming it's playing on it.
Actually, I'll have poured the alcohol down. Like as soon as he presses the button or whatever, because
I'm here for it.
well, it doesn't matter when I pour it down, does it?
You know, I mean, if you want it lying in there, I mean, it's fine. It's like it's going to go anyway.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah,
Scott had an idea. I'm rolling with it.
Okay.
I'm trying to draw all the wasps together to come up this air vent. So she's got a small area that she can just flamethrower the lot in one go.
Yeah, because they're at the wrong part of the house. So
Oh, I get that, but oh my god. Okay, let's do this.
the DM in me is tempted to do this one way, but I think it would be funnier to do this.
You're just gonna have them come out the door, son, when you.
Yeah, as you're
To
playing
the
it,
dark
they just,
side, like,
I will cry.
right, as you said, just for the sake of kind of like making it a bit funnier, I'm going to say that the Walkman was attached to some speakers because see, like the headphones, they'd be going.
Yeah, that's what I was
Nobody-
thinking
really
before. I
annoying
was thinking,
sound.
how's this gonna work? But
Yeah.
I was just going with it.
But
Yeah, we do Bluetooth.
yeah, so just for the sake of funniness, we'll have them attached to a couple of speakers. So when you turn it up, it is. And then you hear and the wasps do get louder. And then you start flying towards it. You hear the buzzing in the vent. And as you hear them coming up, we'll tell you what happens next week on next week's episode of Mutant.
Oh, I didn't realise the time.
Yeah.
You fools, audience, you fools, you thought we were going to tell you what happened next.
No.
Oh, how this
We're
works.
just the same as everyone else. We're evil.
Yeah. So yes, we will find out how well this convoluted plan works. I thought he was walking the front door. Like I thought I was just walking the front door. I'm like, oh, there's some wasps. But no, he went up to the roof. How exciting!
Yeah, spoilers. It's not going to go well.
I don't think it will.
Yours will be absolutely fine. Rachel, how many mutation points have you got?
Mutation points 1.
Fucking hell.
It's okay. I will be fine because I can run away from it.
Rachel,
Oh,
did
wait,
you add
left.
your Yes.
Do you mean left?
How
Oh,
many do you
well,
have in total?
I've only got one cross, so I've got all of it.
Oh, you've got 5. You got loads then. Absolutely loads.
Yeah, I thought you
should
meant
have
how
been.
many have I used. Okay,
Well, you get as many mutation points
I've got
back at the beginning of
9.
each episode. You have 9. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So you should be at max then, because did you add your 2 for this? You having 2 mutations at the beginning of the episode, so you should
It
be.
won't let you
Everyone
take
should
the last one off.
You're maxed out. You're absolutely fine.
I have
Okay.
9.
Yeah, so you should all be pretty high up in the old mutation points. So yeah, you should
Yeah.
be fine. Unless there's multiple waves of wasps, in which case this could be a real issue. Because you're going to have to keep blasting them with your flame breath. But we'll see what
Well, I
happens.
didn't think it was a good idea in the first place, but
We
You
do
went
need
along
we
with
do need to get in this building though. We need these resources.
Look, you need to get in there. You could take down the fence, but again, it would take a long time, and you'd have to do it quietly so the wasps won't fly out and attack you.
And we still need concrete sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just done what people do. You chat, you talk it out, and you see what happens. But we will find out what happens next week, and it'll give me a chance to work out whether it'll be funnier to hurt you badly. And also, if you look at the wasps do some pretty horrific things when they sting you. So you know, it could go either way.
I will point out though, it's like I'm holding the Walkman with the speakers. If they're drawn to me, I'm sprinting. With the, we're going back to the me being the bait tactic if that happens.
I'm here for this. I mean, also one of the jury rig skills, Minnie can actually make a flamethrower.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
I could use that ceiling fan to make something that would just mash them up.
I mean, these are all valid
Yes.
ideas. I mean, yeah, at any point, you know, like, as Minnie's sitting there making our wasp killing dice, like, I wonder what they're doing. It's weird that they're going on that roof. I should question that. Nah, this is way more fun.
Yeah, it's fine. They're just having fun. What's that screaming? Oh,
Fine.
yeah,
fine.
they're having a good time.
I'm very excited to see what happens. However, you've done really well tonight, guys. I'm very impressed. Scott done exceptionally well. He's getting MVP tonight.
That's fair.
definitely.
MVB.
Oh, I love what you did
Yeah.
there.
It was terrible because they're wasps.
That was
MV
horrible, man.
wasp. Right, so everyone gets an experience point for turning up.
Hey.
You get an experience point for discovering a new area of the zone because you've discovered multiple areas of the zone.
Hey.
What else do you get experience for? For just being generally awesome. Scott gets the experience point because he rolled 5 successes after rolling a really hilarious fail.
Oh yeah.
You get one for protecting your buddy, don't you?
You do indeed. Who protected their buddy?
Richard's character
Where-
stopped me from doing something stupid.
Did he? Did he really?
Yes. Yes.
I would
I
also
was ready
point
to
out
kill people.
my actions of saving the entire arc from an attack should count for that as well.
I suppose that would include your
Were
buddy.
you not my buddy
so-
though? That's what I'm.
You're
that's
not
what
my
I
buddy,
mean.
but Gray is.
Yeah.
Did anyone move further towards their dream of or their dream or goal?
Nope.
Nope.
I'll tell you, everyone take 4
Okay.
experience points. We'll just say it that.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll see what you do successfully. Now, I think I did go through this before. I did get some things wrong. When you're doing experience, 0 to 1 costs 5, 1 to 2 costs 10, 2 to 3 costs 15. So there is
Yeah.
but so moving
Right.
forward, that's how we're doing that one. And remember, when you're picking your special skills, then we'll discuss it. We'll not do that on stream. But thank you very much. Has anyone got anything? Sorry, thank you very much to our viewers. Zach, as always, thanks for turning up. James, thanks for coming in, mate. I always appreciate you being here. Fizzle, I assume that you kind of just put us on lurk in the background and aren't listening anymore. But that's nice.
As most people have.
Fizzles.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. We expect that. Now, tomorrow we're playing D&D, so please come watch us play D&D. There's no vampire stream this week. That is a week on Wednesday. So there's nothing on Wednesday at this time.
At this time.
Ooh, but maybe there's talk of a Call of Cthulhu thing happening. Depends if Scott can be bothered or
There
not.
is.
I don't know, I just made that up.
Well,
Scott probably did.
It
was
won't.
gonna say,
It
I'm
won't
not
be
in this
happening. It won't be
conversation.
happening this Wednesday.
No.
No, you haven't had enough time
It is in
for
the
it.
work. There's also
right.
Morkborg / Demon Dog thing in the work as well.
Oh, anyone that's watching now or in future, Google Morkborg because it is some crazy bullshit. And we're hoping to run some of that at I was going to say Christmas, but Halloween's what I meant to say.
A later date.
Yeah, a later date to be confirmed. I have nothing to plug other than follow us on Insanity Gaming. No,
No.
Sanity Check Gaming.
Sanity.
Games,
That's it. That's the
I
one.
think it's Sanity Check
Jesus.
Gaming on Instagram. Minnie, who is there. Have you got anything to plug?
Just that I could draw stuff or like characters or make logos or icons or emotes or whatever you want. I can give it a go. At the moment, I'm running a like pay what you want kind of system, so we'll figure that out.
Pay what you want, provided it's above £100 each time.
Pay what
Yes.
you want and be generous. Don't
Yeah.
just pay £2 because that's
Yes.
just rude.
Off that.
Well, there's also the thing if you literally can't pay right now, I'll still do it. You can make it up to me. It's fine.
I don't know.
People just end up
It's
taking the
fine.
piss.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
I can
about
always
you.
say
Artists
no.
need
I'm
to
not doing
eat.
it this time. I'm too busy, so it's
Oh,
fine.
that's fair enough. If
Yeah.
you expect to pay nothing, expect to wait.
Yeah, you'll probably wait a bit longer.
You can have slow and
True.
cheap. You can was it cheap, good, or fast? But you can only pick two.
Yeah. something like that.
Okay. So yeah, Maddie's Fluffgar. Follow her on Insta. She's got a YouTube channel. She's got a Twitch. We'll hire her.
I'm
pay things
everywhere.
for you.
Probably if you just
Yeah.
look up the name,
Just
you'll find
type
you'll find me
Fluffgar,
somewhere.
You'll find her. Yeah, she's everywhere. Richard, are you doing anything you want to plug?
Well, apart from the world of Felorium, tomorrow on D&D is usually the homebrew D&D campaign I run for some of these reprobates, as well as others. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock BST, British Standard Time, or GM. Well, it is BST.
GMT. I think BST is something different, isn't that?
No, British Standard.
British summertime.
Oh,
It's
it's
British
summertime.
summertime.
Yeah.
Um,
UTC plus one.
apart
Mary
from
taught me
that-
that one.
Yep.
Good
Apart
to
from
know.
that, I'm also I'm also doing something with wrestling with the news. I am a regular guest on Sundays now, that run by a good friend of ours who is interested in wrestling. Because I'm a wrestler, he gets my opinions on stuff because
What's the name of his channel?
it's
Wrestling
wrestling with the news.
Wrestling with News. That's the name of his Twitch channel, yeah?
Wrestling with the news. Yes.
No problem. That's by our good friend. He says his name on his channel, doesn't he?
Levanzo.
Let's say his name.
Yeah,
Oh,
Levanzo.
Lozanzo. Yeah.
Yeah, Levanzo, a good friend Levanzo. Again, I would also promote the Vampire because I rewatched that again and it's just very interesting. I'm just, could be better, could have me in it, but hey, it's just kind of thing. It's kind
At
of thing I
some
have to
point,
live
I'm
with.
sure you'll be in it.
I'm sure as well. We've discussed it, but
Scott, have you got anything you'd like to plug?
Well, I'll occasionally be popping on to that wrestling with the news. Not for the wrestling segments, but he's got to be doing news segments. I'll probably do that. Talk politics because I don't want to do this on this channel because I want this to be more games, just fun times.
More fun related,
exactly.
as opposed to us getting shouted at by people.
Yeah, it's like if you care about my opinions on things like that, then you can go and watch that. If you don't care, well, you're welcome here.
Well, you're
If you
wrong.
don't care, watch it anyway. And
You are entitled to be wrong. It's fine.
no, I've been wrong.
Rachel, have you got anything you'd like to plug? Which wing of the house are you in this week? Is it the east or west wing?
Obviously the West.
Right,
No,
the best
I just
wing,
moved back to the old room.
Alright, okay.
I moved and then I moved back.
Alright,
Just because she could.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she says she moved. She got the servants to move the rooms for her, obviously, yeah.
Well, she need the hand, she couldn't
I
get the
can't
idea down
class
up
me dad as a
across the hall.
servant.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can. You shouldn't, but you could.
Yeah, you could get the idea down across the grand hall. To be fair with you, I mean,
It is a big grand hall, though. I can't really blame her for that.
it's lacquer wood as well
It's
on the
got a
bottom.
plane
he's made.
across it as
Yeah.
well, which is ridiculous,
Yeah, it's so far away.
Were you not going to take over some kind of social media for us, Rachel? Was that Twitter?
I said I would help on Instagram.
Insta, that's right.
If you wanted the help, but only if you want the help.
Yeah, I mean, you need to give us the help because I am clearly not up to this at all.
I've started to
found
build
as
Lego.
many bots. Ooh,
I can do the Twitter.
I'm
do the
starting
Twitter?
to do Lego, so if you guys want, I can post some pictures of Lego. If you're
I-
that
yeah.
kind of nerd, because I love Lego. I have a
Oh,
bonsai
brilliant.
tree Lego for my birthday for my little brother. I made it all by myself.
Pretty
Nice.
fucking cool. A bonsai tree Lego.
That is
Yeah,
badass.
it's
Right
absolutely
now, I'm
it's
okay.
beautiful.
I'm googling it right now. I'm sorry, I'm not watching the stream anymore. I'm going to
Yeah,
be googling
we're
bonsai.
having a Lego build stream now. Chatting.
Well, if we're doing a
I've got a whole bunch
Lego,
of new Harry Potter ones coming as well. Yes, I am now obsessed with Lego.
No.
I blame my little brother Stephen.
I think we know what we're doing with Rach now. Don't need to do GM, just Lego builds. I love it.
Rachel's Lego stream.
Scott?
Yeah.
I was going to say my partner is obsessed with Lego. I'd say her name, but I don't want to say it online. She's
course.
obsessed with it, and like we have been planning to do a big Home Alone house one that she's got. She has the Harry Potter one. She has the Stranger Things with the upside down, where one side's the house and then there's the upside
Oh,
down
that's so
under it.
cool.
That's
I was
Some
gonna
of them are
get the Hogwarts
fantastic.
Castle, but because I haven't made Legos
Apparently
since I was
that's
younger, I
good.
thought, nah, too many pieces.
Lego
Can't
with
grown up in
friends.
stages.
They
We
have
will,
a
any
botanical
nerdy
collection.
pursuits that we have, we will actually put up on Instagram, because Instagram is going to be for like anything nerdy do. I'll be at Comic Con a week on Saturday and Sunday, so I'll be putting that up. If you're doing the Lego stuff, absolutely. When you're doing your wrestling, we put all that kind of stuff up as well. So any of our nerdy pursuits will be put up on our Cynic Check Gaming Insta. I'll probably tweet it out as well, actually.
Do I need
Yeah.
to do I need to do a painting stream for models? Because I do a
Yes.
lot of
I mean, I
If
insist
you
that you do
want.
so.
I
If
do
you
a lot
want,
of
yeah.
conversions for my models for 40k orcs. So and I've got a great
Mhm.
idea for one. I could do that online, I suppose.
Nice.
I am looking forward to
They're
I
doing
guess.
my new costumes.
If I
that
must.
we've been-
Oh, do a costume stream.
I mean,
you
we'll be
should.
doing. Hopefully, we'll be doing a cosplay stream for Halloween. Hopefully,
I've
if we
never
can work
done
what the hell we
cosplay
want to do.
before, so
That's
I
good
don't
fun,
have
actually.
anything.
That's
Have to
right.
buy some shit.
That's how you do it. Yes, you just buy some random stuff. And
Considering
dress
what
up.
I'm streaming, it'll just have to be like my top half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I just need some kind of cool hat or something.
Top
In like-
half
Yeah.
or top off? Because that is a totally different stream. That's what I'm sure I
Hey.
heard that. Was it top half or top off?
Mhm.
Was that there, Rich?
This is
Definitely
not
I said
quite
Scotland.
the
top
other one.
half.
Top half. It's the accent. I'm
I,
sorry.
I wasn't sure if it was like in England, like they had the top off meant top up top or something like that.
Half. Aye.
Mhm.
Taps off.
Oh my goodness.
No, I might have said top
Um,
off. Who knows?
She said top half. I heard her. She said
I heard
it
top
clearly.
half as
How
well.
dare you? Right, that's fine. Right, do we want to raid somebody before we all leave?
Yep,
Yeah,
I've
I'll
already put a
switch
suggestion
this to
forward.
We
the
should totally do that.
I've already put a suggestion forward because I was
We'll make
preempting
someone's
this,
day.
so we can do it straight away instead of waiting well for us. Anyway, we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.